Hello and welcome to Flix and Chill with me, Luke,
Shane.
and this is our show where we will discuss whatever we want. But today we will talk about something to rant or rave about. We will give you one quick pop culture news, and then we talk about, you guessed it, this year's Oscars, the 98th Academy Awards, and what we liked, what we didn't like, how we did on our ballot, all that fun stuff. And then we will finish the show with a quick recommend. But Shane, how's it going?
We're doing all right. It's crazy because it's like the Oscars is the World Cup and the Super Bowl and the World Series for movie fans, and now it's
Mhm.
like, oh, well, another year done. And
Yes.
now we're all building back up again. And we're still in March before realistically most movies aren't going to get any kind of Oscar attention except maybe Project Hail Mary, maybe, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, and it's kind of in that like hangover period where like had my Oscar party and everything, and I'm coming off of a semi break with spring break this week, so we're hanging in there.
Yep, yep. It feels like, yeah, there's a bit of a void for everybody who kind of likes the Oscars or loves the Oscars. So, and yeah, it's definitely one of those like, okay, what's gonna fill that void? And well, movies. But also like that. Yep.
Some are some games and stuff, apparently.
See, Summers, like, I wish, and this is not a sly on anybody, genuinely not. I don't care about box office, and I wish I would be invested in a box office. I know there's now like fantasy leagues about box office movies and stuff. Our buddy Rowan has actually made one of his own, and
Yeah.
it's if I gave a fuck, I would have actually joined. And it again, not a slight on Rowan or anybody who enjoys. If you enjoy it, good for you. But you know how some people could not care less about Oscars. I'm like that for box office. I'll watch like or I'll double check the numbers like every week for like a minute. I was like, oh, this movie did well, cool. But then I'm like not really tracking it. I don't really care. I just want to watch the movie, so like I'm not that invested into, hey, I'm gonna be in this fantasy league and I'm gonna have what what movie will win the summer blockbuster? I cannot wait to see which movie makes the most amount of money. And I'm like, I don't care.
I spend a lot of time looking at box office numbers because
Yep.
I love numbers. And it's wild because a 4 hour Indian film was the number one movie at the box office on Thursday.
Was it?
Yep.
Mm.
Made $4 million at 3 hour and 50-minute movie.
But then that's like
Um,
an average for Indian cinema, really.
well, yeah, the more and more I see a lot of these Indian films coming over and popping into theaters, I'm like, maybe I'll check one of these out. I'm like, I don't have
Three and a
the
half hours, 340.
well,
Yes.
because it's 3 hours and 50 minutes, and then there's 30 minutes of BS, and like the theaters that are showing them, it's a half-hour drive, so then that's a hour round trip, and I'm
Hmm.
like,
So it's like 6 hours.
that math's
Yeah.
not calculating with Shane, who's trying to pull back on things and
Yep.
trying to, you know, find some time in my life that's not just so movie focused or work focused. But no, I spent a lot of time with box office. I
Hmm.
think I might join Rowan's thing,
Okay.
but then I realized that like I think you have to like manually go through and pick those things because like he made it. I don't think
Hmm.
he made like a database or something like that. So I'm like, if I figure out time, put some thought into that before it starts, I'll do it. But no, I don't those types of things I don't really worry about. Like I didn't join the whole Oscar thing either.
Hmm.
That was going on. I'm fine just, doing my own thing. I
Yeah.
don't need to compete with others. That's what I have fantasy baseball for and
Hmm.
fantasy football. That's the competitive sports in my life are enough competitiveness for me to have that covered.
I only play Fantasy Premier League, which aka soccer, aka actual football. But it's only because we have a league from work, so people I
No.
actually work
Yeah,
with. And for the longest time this season, I was number one in that league, and I know fuck and all about soccer. I'm just going purely on
how it
vibes.
works.
Yeah, I was going through like every season I'm going purely on vibes and hey, this player seems to be doing well. He's got the best numbers. Let's swap in him for this player who's doing shit. And for like 20 rounds, I was number one. Now I'm like number five or six, but there's only still about 70 points between me and number one. So, and it's 7 rounds to go. So it's still anybody's game. I know I'm not gonna win, but my goal is top four. Like if I'm in top four, I'm happy.
I infinitely know more about baseball than
Hmm.
American football. Yet I've won back-to-back years for my fantasy football league and have never won a fantasy baseball league.
Nice.
And I just made my March Madness bracket without watching a single game of college basketball. So, and I might
Mm.
win. So, you never know.
We will be rooting for you.
But no, so that's that's the thing. It's just like people are trying to fill the void of the Oscars being over.
Yep.
I'm like perfectly happy, just watching movies.
Hmm.
And there'll be movies I enjoy, and there'll be
Yep.
movies I don't enjoy. So there
Such
we
is
go.
life. Such is
Such is
life.
life.
So, Shane, what is it you want to rant or rave about today?
I promise one of these days it'll be positive, but I have too juicy of a story to not
Oh,
tell it.
spill it.
So I went to go see Ready or Not 2 Here I Come opening night,
Okay.
6 p.m. on Thursday night, and looking forward to this movie. I've been excited by the trailers. I really love the first movie. We get to the theater, and it's opening night of a horror movie. So there's rambunctious little crap heads in the theater that I'm starting to notice as a trend. And at 34 years old, I'm too old for this stuff. Uh so it's one of those things where I'm just like, whatever, I'll try to ignore these obnoxious little jerks. But so I got through almost all the trailers,
Hmm.
and I swear because I've been all kinds of messed up. I was telling Luke before we started recording, I'm a little tired, my head hurts, stuff like that. And I dozed off for like 3 minutes,
Hmm.
tops,
Hmm.
3 minutes. And I came to yelling. And we turned to Jess and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So apparently this young person was being so obnoxious that a young black man had to tell him to shut up. And this little crap in response said, how about you shut the F up, you effing N-word?
Of course.
And hard, hard it.
Ah,
And according to Jess, his voice cracked when he said the N-word. Which I don't think that detail is super important, but I do think that it's funny. So just highlighting how much of a little crap this person
how
is.
immature that person is. Yep. Hmm.
Well, Luke, I wish I was awake to witness it. I was not. He dozed off for a couple minutes, and I I'm like, what the hell is going on? So Jess leaves the auditorium to go inform AMC,
Hmm.
the staff, because he started another kid try to jump in and intervene, and now this little craphead was following that person around the auditorium, getting in their face,
Okay.
and the young black couple left because like I wouldn't want to stick around somewhere where somebody's yelling racial slurs at me.
Hmm.
And two AMC theater staff and the police officer who's security there, because this is an AMC that needs constant security.
Of course.
I will state the name of this theater at the end of my story because they deserve to be chastised for this. Because the staff are like, this is just us giving you your formal warning. You can't do stuff. And then all the other young kids who were in the theater are like, warning? Are you kidding me? And started yelling. And my wife, Jez, did not feel comfortable sitting in this auditorium with this little craphead after she tattled on him.
Hmm.
So we left
Hmm.
because AMC would not throw this person out. They gave them, it's their policy to give a warning because we can't just throw them out for nothing.
I'm surprised nobody fought. Like I th usually when I see instances of, certain
Luke,
Americans being racist,
Luke, it
it.
almost got there.
Hmm. Hmm.
And apparently, the week before, there was an all out brawl in the front of this theater where police got called and they had to take everybody out of the theater.
Yep.
So, AMC Cherry Hill 24, you need to do better. And that was horse they and their response was, well, everybody who didn't want to stay in the theater with them can stick around and can go to the 7 p.m. screening instead. I didn't have
Spineless.
time to go to this. I didn't have time to go to the 7 p.m. screening. That's why I bought tickets for the 6 p.m. screening because I had a recording. So, that just so now I have to go watch it on Monday. Like, I'm making a concerted effort to
Mhm.
be more mindful about my time. And now I have to wind up go taking up 2 evenings to go see this one movie that I wanted to go see.
Mhm.
And I'm like, AMC do better.
Yep.
AMC Cherry Hill, I grew up 5 minutes from there. It is a shit show.
Mhm.
And God, the fact that they have to have constant police presence is not a good sign. And the only reason I go there regularly is because they're the only 24 screen theater near me
Mhm.
that shows a lot of smaller films. And generally, I don't have to deal with any of those issues when I go see those smaller films because I'm the only one in the theater,
Yeah.
which is a whole other issue.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to realize I can't go see new horror movies opening night because that's when the little shits come out. So, moral of the story is I have to change my viewing habits because other people are ruining. And I can't fault people for not wanting to go to the theaters at this point if this is the kind of stuff that happens.
Yep.
So,
Like I
thanks,
will say,
America.
see, that's the thing, right? So I was gonna say this is fucking weird because A, nobody threw hands. I was really expecting, like a brawl will bubble up, and that's why you couldn't see the
Oh, Luke,
movie.
if I were awake and I heard that little
Mhm.
shit scream the N word,
Yeah.
I'm not a small person, and I
Yes.
would have purposefully scared the shit out of that kid.
But the other thing is, I don't understand the thing about the warning because, like, in the UK, anywhere you go, there's a customer facing jobs, like whether it's a retail shop, whether it's a cinema, whether it's whatever, right? There always is some sort of sign that says no, we do not tolerate any abuse, verbal or physical. We don't tolerate any shouting at our staff or anything. So basically, if you start to do that, let alone throw around racial slurs, you're gonna be like it's UK. First, you're gonna be asked very politely to leave, and then somebody will grab you and fucking chucks you on the street. Like there's no there's a warning in a way where like, hey, we can do it the easy way or we can do it the hard way, but all official like offices, restaurants, coffees, anything, anywhere you go, they usually have this kind of like there's no zero tolerance abuse towards our staff members. So thank you for cooperating. And it's I cannot imagine like even in a cinema, let alone like even
Oh,
in like a restaurant, like somebody would not be thrown out instantly.
oh, I'm extremely disappointed at AMC Cherry Hill. They like the fact that you were going to make everybody else leave
Hmm.
this screening to let this person, this little shit who screamed the N word out loud in a public auditorium,
Hmm.
so yeah,
That is
they
bit, yeah,
they deserve to be put on blast
named
for
and shamed
named named and shamed.
and shamed.
They just got shamed. And like I'm a certified film critic.
Hmm.
I pay for my AMC A list every month.
Hmm.
And like I shouldn't have to put up with that kind of crap. And you know what's the worst part, Luke?
Hmm.
I got invited to a press screening that night. And I'm like, it's opening night. Why the hell would I drive into Philly and pay the toll and pay for parking to go to a press screening when I could just go to my local AMC
Yep.
to go watch this movie with my A list
Hmm.
and save money? You know what I should have done, Luke? Just go to the damn press screening because you know who's at the press screening?
Hmm.
People doing their jobs.
Yep.
I'm actually spoiled. I have now realized I am spoiled. I experience movies in a bubble now because the vast majority of movies I experience are on screener links at home or at press screenings where I don't have to deal with the unwashed masses and the little shit racists who show up and ruin people's evenings. So,
Yep. I will say it again. Like, yes, is it best for the future of cinema when you see a movie with by yourself or like two other people in an auditorium? No. But I'm not gonna lie, I miss that about my previous job role when I would have 4 days on. I was working 4 day shifts and then 4 days off. And those 4 days off, Shane, if you go like you obviously know this, but like I miss those days when I could go on a random Tuesday or Wednesday morning to see the brand new movie, like that just dropped
Yeah.
last Friday, with little to no crowd. Like you could
Yep.
see, I could many times can catch up on, oh, this movie I haven't seen, and there's maybe four other people in it in the auditorium. Bliss. You get like a nice picture, you get a nice audio, and you get fuck all of people like bothering you or sitting nearby you because everybody can sit whenever they want, pretty much because it's only 5 people in the cinema.
Oh, Luke, I miss my 9:30 a.m. showings at
See?
AMC's pre-COVID.
Yep.
Well, on the weekends when it's just old people, and if they're gonna say the N word, they usually keep it to themselves. Um, and like I don't get racial slurs thrown at ethnic slurs thrown at me going to random indie films where I'm the only one in the theater.
Hmm.
So just
Yep.
ridiculous. So there's my rant.
Yeah. So I have a very quick rant because I wasn't sure, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure what I'm gonna talk about because I was like, oh, I have nothing to say. And then when we talked to Oscars and like what will fill up the void, I immediately thought of something that kind of pisses me off. So I'm also gonna a wee rant about this. Can we stop predicting Oscar winners today? Like meaning like March. We Even if you are the top movie critic who has all the insider knowledge, you will be wrong. I guarantee you, if you Google Oscar prediction 2026, there will already be about 15 to 20 articles at least written about, hey,
Yeah,
this unreleased movie, we don't even know whether it's actually coming out this year, is a probably top contender because of the names attached. And because many times it's A, it's fault, B, like many times those movies get, passed to the next year, many times those movies underperform and don't do shit. Like, and many times there's always like, especially nowadays, quite a few movies just pop up out of nowhere. And like,
yeah,
who would have thought Train Dreams? Who would have thought Sentimental Value? Who would have thought like, those movies get as much love as they gotten? I wouldn't. So like, or Blue Moon, that came out of nowhere. And
yeah,
so to me, as much as I enjoy the Oscars, I think, overall we are the freaks on this show because most of America and the UK, they don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
just the other day, I was having a conversation with my boss, and he's like, I don't understand how can you watch Oscars live, man? It's such a dick sucking competition. I'm like, I know, I know. And like, I was like, I get it, I get it. It's fine, it's fine. Not your thing. It's not your thing. It's my thing. It's fine. And so, and as much as we like the Oscars, as much as we like these award shows, that doesn't mean I need to see 10 articles per month. Like, 10 articles in May, 10 articles in July. Hey, these are the latest Oscar predictions. I was like, no. Like, I think October, November, fine. That's when
yeah,
the actual, hey, this will actually compete. This actually has a chance to compete. We've seen it. We can talk about it. Fair. But like, no, let's not do that. So that's my rant. Just like, I know nobody will stop, but if I had
yeah.
some power, yeah.
Few thoughts first. I think as I get older, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna be 35 this year,
Same.
more and more I look at headlines for articles online and just be like,
Clickbait.
I'm like, why'd you even write this? Like, why? Why is this need to be written? And I also look at how obnoxious the headlines are, and it's just at this point, I don't care. And two, no campaign money has been exchanged yet, so we
Nope.
have no idea who's really in people's pockets yet. So you're all full of crap. Um, two, because that's how awards season works.
Hmm.
Unfortunately. And third point, like I literally just saw an article yesterday. The best director uh race is already stacking up, and it's
Yeah.
Robert Eggers' face, it's Nolan's face, it's Denis' face, it's
Steven
Alejandro
Spielberg.
Gonzalez Iñárritu and Spielberg, the five of
Which
them. And I'm like,
Like,
Which
yeah, they all have
first
movies
off,
coming out. Like, yes.
yeah. First off, do you really think Robert Eggers is going to get nominated for Best Director? No,
If it's any
because,
good.
well, no, here's the thing. He's made good movies already.
Hmm,
He's
hmm.
too weird. They're not going to do that. Denis Villeneuve has made plenty of great films up to this point, and they haven't even nominated him for anything. So,
With him specifically, I'll make that point. I have heard that they want to kind of do what they did with Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings, and therefore, yeah. Shane is making a gesture, like a very indecent gesture, and therefore he will definitely be not only nominated, he will definitely win the Best Director next year, Shane, because they are saving it up for him. There's
yeah,
no
but Dune
way.
Part 3 has to be good.
First of all, which I don't think they will. I don't think they'll be shit.
And here's the thing. But what if it pulls a Wicked for good?
Look, I don't. You know what's more likely with these? Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's save him up for this trilogy. You know what's more likely? Not if what if it's not good. I think it will be great. What if there's two or three other directors that actually blast out a masterpiece? Are we? And Academy will do its thing. Like, hey, we're gonna reward Martin Scorsese for The Departed, which is a great movie. Is it his best directorial movie? Doubt, like press X to doubt kind of thing. Yeah, or like, let's award Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman. Not,
Ah,
yes, not the seven other times, including two, Godfather Part 2, not
two
including
Godfathers.
Dog Day Afternoon, you know,
Yep.
Serpico. And it's so like, that's my kind of, like, yeah,
It's people.
frustrating.
This is coming from me, who has thrown an Oscar party for the last 10 years. Like, people take this way too seriously.
Yep.
And, like, it's March. Just
Hmm,
go enjoy Project Hail Mary
hmm,
and Hoppers and stuff like that for now. Just enjoy it. Let's all go watch the very average but fun the Super Mario Galaxy movie that's going to be coming out because it's Illumination and it's definitely going to be average but fun because
hmm,
that's what they do and also make $1 billion. So let's cool the jets for a little bit. Like, yes, we don't need to talk Oscars until
hmm.
November when
Yeah.
they start dumping the movies that they're actually going to be campaigning for Oscars for. Because just look at September and October. There are a whole bunch of big supposed awards contenders that came out and fell flat on their face.
Yep.
Smashing Machine was
Uh-huh.
supposed to be like, where was Dwayne Johnson's Best Actor nomination? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
cool the Jets.
I was just gonna mention when he said let's enjoy Project Mary and Hoppers, it cut out for a bit, so it kind of sounded like he said just enjoy Project Hail Mary and Poppers. And I'm like, wow, that's a combination.
Oh, you don't need any. If you watch that on an IMAX screen, you don't need any additives.
I can only imagine because the nearest IMAX is like 2.5 hour driving from me, and like that's a
Ooh.
yeah. And unlike America, it's the roads are not as flat and as quick. Like,
Well, and to be fair, I live in New Jersey,
mhm,
so I'm I don't have to deal with city crap, but I'm close to cities enough where I could go if I want to.
yeah, yeah,
And like I can make a day trip and go see something on the biggest IMAX screen in the
hmm,
country at Lincoln Square AMC. I'm not even gonna try to attempt to see the Odyssey there
mm,
because they already sold out
yep,
a year in advance.
yep,
So
yep.
nonsense. But anyway, but anyway.
But anyway, so for this next segment, our pop culture news, we will only gonna do one because I think we will spend some time on the Oscars.
Yep.
But Shane has presented a very good argument that we need to talk about this man. So, Shane, give it to us. What's on your mind?
Well, Chuck Norris has passed away. And as somebody who grew up in the United States
Hmm.
with nonstop Chuck Norris memes
Yep.
and Chuck Norris jokes
Yep.
and the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny on YouTube
Hmm.
and watching Walker Texas Ranger going off and watching Delta Force with my mom, I want to pour one out for Chuck Norris because unlike for most of his life, when that king cobra bit him, and after 5 days of pain and agony, the cobra died,
Yep.
today Chuck Norris told death, I'm coming.
Hmm.
Chuck Norris did not die. He told death it was his turn.
Yep.
So, yes, this man, 86 years old, which God, no idea he was 86 years old, because I think they still recycle the same home fitness gym infomercials that he used to do. And I'm like,
Hmm.
wow, still looking great, but those are from like 1992. But no, I grew up watching a lot of Chuck Norris stuff, so
Hmm.
I was sad. But then Luke brought up the point, it's like, well, he was a MAGA man. I'm like, yes, he was. And
Just to, just to reiterate, I didn't bring up that point like that. I just said, and we can talk about how, two things can be true at the same time. Like, yes, because like all you said, this is international. This is not just American. Like Chuck Norris memes, Chuck Norris jokes, Chuck Norris movies, Walker Texas Ranger, those are staples of where I grew up, and I'm not American. So like those jokes.
that is the power of Chuck
Go.
Norris.
That's exactly. Though, like Chuck Norris is a legend in this sense, where he transcended borders. Like I remember growing up on Walker Texas Ranger 2 because it was like a staple on this one TV, like a station where they would play it every like afternoon, like 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Sorry, and so it's like like I've seen a bunch of episodes, and and even from the even Czech Republic, bunch of us know 10,000 Chuck Norris jokes because he was this like
So
omnipresent.
many.
Yeah, it's like he was this like almost a godlike creature that cannot be beaten, cannot be defeated. Like he cannot do like you cannot do any harm to him, right? Like so like
No,
those
when that
jokes.
doctor tried to slap his butt when he was a baby, he slapped the doctor back.
Yes. I love the like a joke. There's like Chuck Norris lost his virginity before his dad in a cabin he built himself. It's like that's just like so fucking random. But anyway, and yeah, so I was bringing up the point like I didn't actually like I remember hearing like he was anti-Obama and apparently now he was hardcore into MAGA before he died. I
Yep.
was like, yeah, and unfortunately, two things can be true about one thing at the same time. Do we like him and love him for the memes and for the fun and for all the like silly action stuff he did? And and he was, I think those jokes actually came about because of his karate background, because of his
Yeah, because
sixth
was a
time
six-time world karate champion.
undefeated. There is a one important word when I read about him yesterday, I didn't actually realize. Six-time undefeated. I'm like, holy shit, is that why we have so many jokes about him? Because that probably is some sort of, must be some sort of like root to that. Is like in his youth, he was actual fucking machine. Like he could
Yeah.
probably kick everybody's ass. So yeah. So like
Well, and that's why they put him in a Bruce Lee movie against Bruce Lee, which he probably could have won in real life. So
to be fair, that would be
wild.
like peak Bruce Lee and peak Chuck Norris. I don't like knowing what
Like
I
an
know.
actual fight, would
Yeah,
have
like
loved to
actually,
see that.
like knowing what I know, I would still bet my money on Bruce Lee, but I think it would be tighter than many would like to
Well,
believe.
if you ask Quentin Tarantino, just Brad Pitt could beat up Bruce Lee.
Yes. So yeah, I was just pointing out that of course, what the internet did the internet thing, and the moment he died, 5 minutes later, well, I'm not sorry for him because he was a MAGA person, and I'm like, can we for like 5 minutes, can we not do this? Can we like all chill the fuck down? We know nobody likes MAGA, yes. Fuck Donald Trump, yes. Fuck everything he stands for, yes. Can we just chill the fuck out? Like this old 86-year-old person. Yes, I kind of presumed he would be on his side. Unfortunately, there is a certain age where I'm more shocked that, certain people are not on his side. Like the truth is, like I have a funny story. I have this receptionist, well, we have this receptionist at work where I actually work. She's of certain age. And we
Mhm.
once talked about Brexit. And she said, I voted for Brexit. And I'm like, and I'm me being the blunt cunt I am, I'm like, with your age, it doesn't surprise me. But she actually took it on her chin, and we had a decent conversation about it because she understood like where I wasn't being a dick about it, even though kind of sounds like it. But we talked about it a bit more, and and that's my point. If you're of a certain age, I'm more shocked that you're not on that side. So like like let's all chill the fuck down for a bit, and let's just say, hey, the king of memes, like yes, Leo is the king of memes now, but there was a time where Chuck Norris was the most hilarious
Leonardo
person.
DiCaprio is only the king of memes because Chuck Norris lets him.
That is so true. So like
So,
we can just pour one out for our fallen comrade.
and here's the thing: when Bruce Willis unfortunately passes away, which is probably going to be sooner rather than later because he is
Mm,
very ill,
hmm
I don't want the first thing to pop up being like, well, he supported Trump. Like, God damn it. Can we just acknowledge the fact that, like, Die Hard means a lot to a
hmm
lot of people? And, like, people have, unless somebody has gone out and done something absolutely horrific themselves and done horrible things to other human beings, can we just not, like, immediately define them by their politics the second they die? Can we take like 2 seconds to just appreciate that, like, there's a lot of people that got a lot of enjoyment out of life because of Chuck Norris?
Yes. Yes.
And I would like to acknowledge Chuck Norris by reading a nice little collection. I'm
Okay.
not reading all 120 of these, but I want to read just a few
Okay.
of these wonderful Chuck Norris jokes. So Chuck Norris doesn't read books, he stares them down until they give up the plot.
Yep.
Time waits for no one unless Chuck Norris tells it to. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door.
Oh yeah.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push ups, he pushes the earth down. Chuck Norris doesn't wear a watch, he decides what time it is. Chuck Norris can hear silence. Chuck Norris doesn't knock on doors, doors knock on Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris can clap with one hand, the other hand is just there for balance. Chuck Norris doesn't get lost, places get found.
Hmm.
And my last one, Chuck Norris doesn't sleep, he waits.
He waits. I would just quickly want to add two more I like. Chuck Norris once visited the Virgin Islands. They are now only known as islands. And Chuck Norris once went to 24/7 and they actually closed down. Like, yeah, it's again, if you're certain, like, I think we are the
If
prime
you're a
age.
certain age,
We are the prime age for Chuck Norris jokes. Yes, you grew up with that
like
shit.
when he popped up in Expendables 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Barney is just like, yo, Booker, I heard you got bit by a king cobra. And I'm like, are you serious? There's jokes in this movie. And he's like, that's correct. And after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra finally died. I'm just like,
Yes.
I was sitting in the theater. I'm like, I cannot believe they just did that. And all joking aside, that is why Expendables 2 is the best Expendables movie because they knew what they were doing and
Hunter.
they knew exactly why we were there. And that kind of ridiculousness is exactly why you show up for an Expendables movie, not Expendables 4, whatever trash that was.
This is the fan appreciation, fan glazing, fan service, whatever you want to call it. Expendables 2. Like I had before I knew
Yes.
you, before we knew each other, because this was like 2012, 13, that movie. Long before
Yeah.
I knew Shane, I also went in to see Expendables 2 in a cinemas, and I walked out literally thinking this is the movie I would have made as a fan of a fucking action movies I grew up on. This is a like this it's not a great movie, but it's the best movie for a fan of action movies. It's an awesome fucking movie, and the Chuck Norris thing was hilarious. Yes,
Yep. And him just like stone faced, taking out every.
yes,
I'm like, that's great acting, Chuck Norris. Great acting.
yes.
Oh man. But anyways, now talking about movies that, unlike Expendables 2, got nominated for Oscars.
I So let's dive into our big topic today, which is the 98th Academy Awards. So the
Yep.
way this is gonna work, we will do certain. groups and we just talk about it. So first of all, Shane, we both had our Oscar ballots. I'm not gonna say who won, but like I'm gonna say it was very close. How do you feel about your Oscar ballot now?
So here's the thing. To
Hmm.
be frank, I don't give a crap
Yeah.
about filling in Oscar ballots for what I think's going to win
Yes.
because I find no enjoyment out of that.
Hmm.
And honestly, when I didn't even look up the results, I just saw somebody posted a screenshot, and I'm going to call some BS because the fact that apparently I finished 13th, and I'm like, how did I finish 13th when I got the vast majority of these right? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But no, here's the thing. Of the ones that I wanted to win,
Hmm.
I did a lot better than I could
Hmm.
have hoped. And honestly, that's what matters to me.
Yeah.
There were still some that, I was really pulling for didn't win. But no, apparently I did not do great with my ballot. How many people did it?
To be fair, well, okay. So to be fair, I think you did good. Like I did, well, I got 1 point extra than you, but I still
Yeah.
got 17 out of 24. So because this year I took a lot
Oh.
of swings.
Oh, so basically all of us.
No, and I was gonna say, like, if you and I, if we only had like let's say 2 points more, we would have been like top five. Because like most people had about 18, 19.
Oh,
So I had
so this
17.
was so this was my class ranking all over again.
Ah,
I finished 11th in my high school. I didn't Everybody in the top 10 got money,
yeah.
and I finished 11th and didn't get it less than an A in any class in high school.
Ah, that sucks.
And I'm just like, but so apparently this was a very close race. Like I said,
It
I didn't
was.
look up the results, but no, like I did pretty honestly, I probably did better this year than most years because honestly, the Academy throws some wild.
And I,
Well,
to be
this was
fair,
pretty predictable this year, though.
I was gonna say, like, actually, see, like, this is so funny because I will disagree. I think this is the second or third year in a row where it's getting a bit more unpredictable, and I actually like it because here's the thing. We both thought, oh, they started the best casting category. This is for them a great chance to give one extra Oscar to Sinners. No, they went to one battle after another. And I'm like, huh, interesting. And like to me, like it was about like like a best supporting. Like there were some races best both supporting categories were between like three people. Like,
Yeah,
like best the best movie. Like yes, look, I took some wild swings. I knew one battle will probably win Best Picture, but I still picked Sinners because I wanted Sinners to win. I did the thing that, in my heart of hearts, I wanted Sinners to win, and I
yeah.
thought there might be some upset. So I chose Sinners. For Best Supporting Actress, I chose Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners because I was like, look, Sinners is picking up some steam. I'm hearing Michael B. Jordan might win. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So I was like, you know what, Wunmi Mosaku, why the fuck not? And then I knew it will probably be Amy Madigan, and when she won, I was like, I should have fucking picked Amy Madigan. I knew, like I was like, do I
Honestly,
pick?
Luke, I don't even remember what I don't actually remember what I put on the actual ballot for
Hmm.
what I thought would win.
Hmm.
But I remember all the ones I wanted to win,
Hmm.
and those were both I wanted Sinners to win Best Picture, and I wanted Wunmi Musaku to win too.
Yeah.
But like one, I was not upset about
Hmm.
Amy Madigan at all
No.
because she was great as Aunt Gladys. And like, I'm not mad that one battle after another one. It would have
Hmm.
been the same way I would have felt if There Will Be Blood won Best
Yep.
Picture over No Country. Both of those movies are my top 20 favorite movies of all time.
Hmm.
Except I love No Country. That's like up there for me. So like One Battle was a great movie.
Hmm.
And I literally rewatched it going into the ceremony.
Hmm.
So watching it for a third time, actually, it was the third time I watched that movie. Um,
Nice.
the Sean Penn one just made me mad because I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, this man has won 3 Oscars now, and he didn't even show up for this one, which we did get a great Kieran Culkin.
Do you know why, by the way? Have you seen why he didn't show up?
Yeah, apparently he was. Well, I heard he was in the Ukraine.
Yes, there was a
supposedly.
picture
Yeah,
of somebody posted a picture. That's why Sean Penn didn't show up, not because he was, he was talking to Vladimir Zelensky about Ukraine, about the war. And I'm like, and this is, as we talked about Chuck Norris, this is the duality of men. Sean Penn, you can say a lot of shit about him, and many of them will be true. But God fucking damn, he cares about, when a Haiti disaster happened. I've heard several stories about how he himself put a lot of money and effort to actually repair like a lot of Haiti, and he to this day wasn't is not really giving himself much credit. Like many people forgotten about that, and people on the ground were like, "No, he actually did a lot of shit. He actually contributed a lot of money, but he doesn't talk about this." And like I'm like, and yeah, like when the Ukraine war started, he was the first on the ground with a camera talking to Zelensky and and going to war zones. So does he have some demons? Is he a bit of a prick? Yes. But
yeah.
again, and any person, man, woman, child, whatever, contain platitudes. So like I kind of admire Penn for the most part. Like is probably he's a bit of a dick.
Well, at least he wasn't hanging out with a dictator this time.
Correct.
So, because he's done that too, which I honestly, that man's an enigma to me because I do not understand it at
I
all.
feel like he just wants to talk to people who are like at power and wants to understand them and maybe like in a true Hollywood fashion. Hey, I'm a star. They might listen to me. He might have that attitude. I don't know, but like to me, he
Wonder why he
always
hasn't shown up to the White House then.
will go. Well,
I think after Bill Maher, I don't think Trump's inviting anybody else.
if he shows up to White House, I think that's only to his detriment because then, oh, you know what would happen? 5 minutes later, oh, he's a MAGA now. He's definitely MAGA
Yeah,
now. Yeah. So
Sean Penn's MAGA
yeah,
now.
yeah. So like even if he will
But
not,
anyway,
yeah,
but anyway, no, he is now but one of five
I think so.
actors
Yeah.
that have won three Academy Awards, with Streep, Daniel Day-Lewis, Jack Nicholson, and Katharine Hepburn, I think.
Hepburn has four. Katherine Hepburn is the only actor that has four,
So
no?
at
Oh,
least
at least. Sorry.
let,
Yes.
let well no, so let me reiterate, let me
Yeah.
throw in a different math symbol there. At least
Yeah. Yeah.
three Academy
Yeah.
Awards.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
It is.
That's some great company. And that's the thing. He is a great actor.
I was gonna
I don't
say like
particular He's abrasive and I don't particularly like him as a person, but that doesn't matter to me at the end
s-
of the day. And he played a great character in one battle. So
separating art from the artist because like you can like again you can say a lot of shit about Sean Penn. I if you tell me he's a bad actor, I this is where I don't believe you. This is where like you can tell me he's a horrible person. Okay, sure. You can tell me he's this. You can tell me he beat up a puppy one time. Okay, probably. I don't know. I wasn't there. But like if he the moment he started to tell me Sean Penn is a bad actor and he didn't deserve those Oscars he won, I'm
well,
like, he
like
did.
I probably would have picked somebody else for '08, but
Mm,
that's not to say that he didn't
mm.
deserve to win. I was on that Mickey Rourke train real
Ah.
hard for the wrestler.
Fair.
Um, but no, like Mystic River, that was his Oscar to win.
Yes.
Um, and then this was a tight race. I'm a little surprised they didn't that Stellan Skarsgård didn't get the
Hmm.
win on that one, but I really wanted Delroy Lindo to win. But at the end of the day, apparently I did all right with my
Yeah.
ballot, better than I realized.
I just wish I made some better choices in the obvious categories because, like, look, I lost like one documentary short, one live short. Like, those are always like a flip of a coin. So, like, I'm not that mad.
The shorts and the documentaries is a crapshoot.
Yes.
And I actually got half the tie,
Hmm.
which can't believe Singers was the other half of that tie. Because I'm like, if it was going to be anything, I thought it would have been Jane Austen's period drama,
Mm.
which, but that's how those go. I should have known the
Hmm.
documentary. I should have known they weren't gonna. I should have known they were gonna go with the anti-Putin documentary because that's honestly what things have been going the past couple of years. But I thought that the neighbor one
Yeah.
had all the traction going in, but
See, if was doing it on my own and not knowing anything, I would have probably chosen the Putin one too, because I know how much Academy loves to award those anti-Putin ones.
yeah,
But I have heard from so many people, oh no, The Perfect Neighbor will definitely win. The Perfect Neighbor will definitely win because it's on Netflix. It's
yep.
more accessible. It's more this. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And I had a sneaky feeling. I haven't
But
seen
it
either of
doesn't
those
have
documentaries.
Putin in it.
Yes. And I haven't seen, by the way, I haven't seen either of those documentaries. So this was just purely me going off of vibes. I had a sneaky feeling. I was like, but like last couple of years, they really like anti-Putin stuff. But I guess because of that, it won so much already. They want to award something new. Okay, I'll go Perfect
Nope,
Neighbor. Nope,
apparently not. So, Luke, the key to win the best documentary feature film
be
is
Russian.
to be anti-Russia or pro-Ukraine or about a man who wants to have sex with an octopus. Because I'm still not over my octopus teacher. Still not,
Nice.
and I won't be. I I will hold that grudge until the day I die.
Mm,
And is it petty? Yes. Because who else thinks about that movie? Probably
nobody.
not many, but I do, and in a in a derogatory way.
So let's move on then. What
Yep.
are your, before we get into the six big categories, what are your overall thoughts of the actual ceremony?
I thought it was a pretty great ceremony. Laughed a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and the two music performances were really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm anti making speeches with messages. I am not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of refreshing to get really earnest, moving acceptance speeches from some of the big categories.
When we can
Like,
hear them.
well, here's the thing. I didn't have any issues
No, no,
with
no. I
my
mean,
stream.
if they didn't cut them off, that's
Oh,
what I meant.
oh, you mean when they start obnoxiously playing music?
And we
Okay,
will get,
I
no,
really,
we will get to that.
I really hope that once it gets to YouTube, they stop the horse shit with that and just
Yep.
let it be.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, the it ended at like 10:40 my time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me you needed those 20 minutes back? What are you even going to put on? Why didn't you just allow a little extra time and let it go to the top of the hour? This is network television. What the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, that's annoying because they did have 20 extra minutes for the broadcast time. But no, that was frustrating when they started doing that to a few people.
Yep.
Um, and they were very picky and choosy about who they did that to.
Mm-hmm.
But Conan, great host.
Mm-hmm.
They even had bonus host Jimmy Kimmel come out for a bit. My only regret is that they did not do a follow-up skit with Adam Sandler from last year. That'll be my one negative about Conan as a Conan's shtick was he didn't have a follow-up because that was my favorite gag from last year.
Mm-hmm.
But that opening
That opening is great.
the end was unhinged. That
Yes.
was wild.
Yes.
So
So,
overall, I thought it was very entertaining
mhm.
year to watch.
I am. So I've had obviously we both had a week to think about it, almost a week now.
Yep.
I will say I've like the opening with the weapons and going through all the nominated movies like killed me. I was like, oh, this is so fun. This is so fun. Conan as a host, great. I think, and I overall, before I start shitting on this, I thought I actually had a good time. Like it was a really good night. I think that was a very good ceremony. I just thought, and I'm probably here only one on my wee island, which is fine. I feel like it never hit the tone it wanted to go for. It felt more disjointed. Like I felt like there's a lot of like non-Conan jokes landed flat, like the Chris Evans RDJ like bit that was prepared. I was like, I thought the
Channing
bridesmaids.
Tatum saved that
Mm.
because
Oh yeah,
he was like the only legitimately
yeah,
funny part about that skit. When he was just like, like
yes,
besides that I'll agree. A lot of that and it was inconsistent because
yes,
some of them played it completely straight and didn't do like Kieran Culkin played it completely straight. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're not gonna have him do a gag of all
and
people.
and
But then he
bridesmaids.
got his in at
Yeah,
the end there. Like,
like the bridesmaids
I'll admit,
reunion. I'm like, like I like them all. I like the movie. Don't like this is not me hating on women or that movie, but like that did nothing
Luke,
for.
this is the internet. Of
I know,
course,
I
it's you
know, I
hating
know,
on women.
I know. If we were any bigger, there would be like already 10 articles written about how I'm a chauvinist. Anyway, but like it was like the payoff. Oh, it's another Stalin Skarsgård note. That was funny, but before we like the way we were getting there, like everything felt a bit off. And I'm just so like I'm in a weird space where I have overall actually enjoyed the ceremony. I overall actually am positive on this,
Hmm.
but I felt like unlike last year because we had the same host, Conan.
Yeah.
Like the last year to me clicked more into place. The last year the jokes, like most of the jokes landed for me, even non-Conan ones. The last year felt more cohesive, like tonally. This one felt like, hey, we have some jokes that are 50% funny, 50% I see what they were going for, huh? And then we have some presenters that are like, I don't want to be here, maybe. Like I don't know what am I doing here. Like I'm Anna Wintour. Like I get it was the part of the bit, where and who would have known that she actually has a killer execution of those like lines? But before she delivered her jokes or playing off Anne Hathaway, she was just looking around. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I'm like, she looks bored. Like
But
I understand why she was there. Like Devil Wears
I'll
Prada.
admit, I was too distracted. I didn't really care.
Anne Hathaway is she's a fucking vampire. Like she like the hair plastic surgeon is working overtime. Like primo. No, but so like my point, like overall, I'm very split. Like I'm still like I would say I if I were to rank this, I think I would give these Oscars this ceremony. Doesn't and by the way, this is not me having problems with who won. No, that's even putting it aside.
Just the
Just the
actual
actual
broadcast.
ceremony, yeah. I still would put it like 7 out of 10. I feel so like I'm still overall positive on it, but I felt like last year's were at least 8 or 9 because last year like they felt more cohesive, like the flow of the ceremony was more like, oh yeah, we're going here, and now we're going here, and now we're going here, and now we're doing this, and now and it just flew better. And this one was like more like bits. Hey, here's a bit, and here's another
Yeah.
bit, and here's another bit, and it almost felt like SNL in a weird way, rather than we are here to celebrate Oscars. And again, I don't think this is Conan, by the way. If he actually there is a article after he actually has apparently an offer until he wants to do it or until it's on ABC he can come back for the next 2 years. I hope he does because he is
Yeah.
fucking great. Yeah.
Yep. And that bridesmaids one, something felt off timing wise
Yeah.
between them transitioning, and there's audio issues because
100%.
some of their mics were not queued up properly as
No.
others. So that I think took away from that bit. And yes, the RDJ, like, and I'm one of the biggest Marvel fans out of anybody from our Sif Pop or
Yeah.
SPDM sphere. I am a diehard MCU fan, and I will see everyone opening night. That fell flat as hell.
Yes. Yes.
That was like, why? And them trying to shoehorn in is like, well, it is the 14th anniversary of the Avengers. I'm like, wait a year.
Like
Like
who the fuck
I
cares?
know Disney was trying to get people's attention to Doomsday.
Yes.
That's 100% it.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I did love the Grogu bit because that puppet is adorable.
Like the
The
puppet,
fact that
like, see, that's a perfect example. The puppet is adorable. I love that Grogu was there, but they went for the obvious get the hell away from her, you bitch, to Kate Hudson.
that was a little forced
And I'm like, that was
for
so
sure.
forced. And I'm like,
Yeah,
also, Kate Hudson is adorable, kind of sexy. Well, not kind of. She is sexy. She's
let's see.
adorable. What did she do to you, Sigourney Weaver? Like, what the fuck? Like, if it was somebody like somehow related to Star Wars universe, at least it would make some sort of sense. Like,
But no,
go.
and this is my thing. I I I am the type of person, my perfect Oscar ceremony is not hosted by a stand-up comedian.
Yep.
It's not hosted by a late night person.
Hmm.
It's somebody who really, and I'm not saying that Conan doesn't love movies. I think he actually does, which
Yep.
I think is why he's one of the better
Hmm.
one to of those type of people to host this. I miss the Billy Crystal stuff, or like the Hugh Jackman year when he
Yes.
put on a show.
Yes.
Like, I prefer that.
Hmm.
But if you're gonna give me these comedian things, I'd rather you give me Conan because he does a great job. And I don't need that much comedy.
I
You
was
could just
gonna.
move the show along. Just let Conan do his bits, and
Yeah.
then everybody else play it straight, doing the presenting and move it along.
Especially if we, or if not we, sorry, if the Academy or whoever's in charge will keep on cutting off people who just won a fucking
Yes,
Oscars,
yes,
and for many, like special like documentary features and like song, they will probably, this is probably, not, hopefully not, but probably their only Oscar they will ever win in their life. And to fucking, we don't have to, and that's my point. We don't have to have bridesmaids there. Okay, look, if they have to be there, okay, cool. No jokes. We are here to present the Oscar for whatever they were presenting. Nominees are, and rather than having 5 minute shtick that kind of falls flat, give those 5 minutes or what you've saved to those people who actually win and let them speak. Like we don't
yep,
have to go through all of them, but the biggest example or biggest sin of that was the K-pop Demon Hunters winning the best song. And
yep.
the moment the Korean dude was trying to say third word, they cut him off. There was another Korean dude next to him who was like, "No, no, no, keep on going, keep on going." I was like, "Yeah," I was like, yeah, I was that dude. I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, fuck that, like, dude, keep on going,
Oh,
keep
and was
shouting."
that the one where they changed camera angles too to like
Yes,
a wide shot? I'm like,
and
come
also
on.
they also dim the light, so they like
Yeah,
basically not, no, we're not stopping playing you off. We're dimming the light. We're taking your mic and we're playing you out. Like no, there's no way like
that was
you're actually making.
disrespectful. Disrespectful.
So I would much rather, as to your point, exactly in the same boat. If you need jokes in the Oscars, have a comedian host it, fine, and all the presenters be bland. Hey, I'm Hugh Jackman. Here's five best nominees for fucking costume.
Or,
Nominees are boom.
talk up the category a little bit
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
nominees and then move on. Move
exactly.
on. So, and they even only had two music performances this year, which honestly, both of them,
That were great.
great. They were great. And they pulled off that Sinners one. Like, I was a little worried about how they were going to maneuver that, but honestly, after what they did with the I'm Just Ken, I shouldn't have been worried
Hmm.
because they pulled out some great camera work on that. And they didn't even have the three other songs, which
They
I
should
thought
have
it
been
would,
there.
well, they should have. And I think they should be included and highlighted throughout the show.
Yes.
But even with that, it still had 20 extra minutes.
Yep.
So I don't know what the problem is. I would have I would have loved everybody get teared up listening to Nick Cave do his weird grandpa waxing poetic dreams. But yeah,
Honestly, as much as I enjoyed Golden, as much as I enjoyed K-pop Demon Hunters, if it wasn't my pick was I Lied to You from Sinners. If it
yeah.
wasn't for that, I would have picked Train Dreams. Like if it
That's
was
a
just me.
I got so mad at Netflix because I was getting emotional listening to that
Hmm.
song in the credits after we watched it from my Oscar party, and then Netflix cut it off for previews for something else. I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
um, the in memorandum,
I was gonna say
which
yeah,
this was a
last
really important one this year,
very important.
and they didn't flub it until maybe the end. But we'll get to that in a second. The
Yes.
Billy Crystal, that was beautiful.
Yep.
That was wonderful.
Yep.
That's how you do it right. Even the Rachel McAdams, that was
Yep.
really charming.
Yes.
And we love Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
Um, Barbara, what was that? Which one? I could barely hear her. I
The
don't know if
sound issues.
you,
Yes. Sound issue. Yeah.
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 And then a bunch of like some people at my party were being loud and obnoxious during it. So on top of that, I couldn't hear it either. Like that lasted a while and was kind of rambling. And then she started singing. And I'm like, okay. And
Yeah,
then I don't know if you saw Jane Fonda pissed
I
off.
have.
I'm just like,
I look, it's the internet again, so I think people are taking it a bit too seriously. She was obviously apparently, if you see the video, she was joking, but she was kind of
but
not. Like like I made 4 movies with him. What? Why is she there?
well, yeah, to be honest, why did Barbara Streisand come out?
Was it just to remind people that is she still alive? I don't want to be mean, but
Luke, I know why she said yes.
I know.
I'm saying we did think that just seemed a little weird. But
Yes.
that's how you handle a big year because there's no way in hell they could have just not put a giant spotlight on Rob Reiner and Redford.
And Diane Keaton.
Like, yeah,
Because like so my 2 cents on that,
man.
yeah, like I was definitely gonna mention in memoriam. Yeah, the Rob Reiner stuff, just like it was beautifully done. What I loved is like when they had all the posters for the movies, and then the curtain rolled, and suddenly all the actors from his movies like were there, and I was like, oh damn, Kiefer Sutherland was there, all these
Not
names.
not Corey Feldman.
Nope. And yeah, and then I think it's fitting. It's Rachel McAdams for Diane Keaton because Rachel McAdams is that kind of actress. And
See, I never put two and two together,
me
but I
neither.
think that kind of put a spotlight on something. I'm
Yes.
like, oh,
And like
kind of
she is
is.
universally beloved. She is criminally underrated. And like she is she's just waiting for that one sure fire that will get her the deserved Oscar because like I feel like she's one of those like she must be top of pretty much every cinephile's list. Is overdue for an Oscar, but she is criminally underutilized for many movies she does. If anything, like like if anything, this year sent help. I know it's no way, like
Yeah.
she. I'm not saying she should be nominated for that movie, but if anything, that movie proved she is game for literally anything, and she
Yep.
is great in anything she does. So like
I will
that.
say
Mhm.
I was kind of on the best supporting actress for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Yes, yes.
Like
Hmm.
if and that's a tricky thing because there's so many movies come out,
I
but like
know.
I was kind of on that train where I'm like, honestly,
Yep. But yeah.
I think
So oh sorry.
so. No, I was dumb.
Uh no, yeah. So Diane Keaton that obviously like hit hard. So like and the montage about her, just Robert Redford. Yeah, Barbara made it a bit weird. Like I totally understand and agree with you. Like when she started singing, I'm like, this is like a primo Hollywood right there. The intention is good. We all understand why you're doing this, but I wish
Yep.
you didn't do this.
Yep.
Like, and obviously, like the way we were, like it's an excellent movie. It's an important movie. The song is immortal. Like you don't have to know seen a movie to know the song. So I understand. I just wish you didn't end it like that. Also, to our point, they didn't forget Tetsuya Nakadai. He had a very prominent picture. When I saw him, I was like, yes, they didn't fucking forget this legend of Japanese
Ah,
cinema. And he was quite early on and a big picture of just him for a couple
yeah,
of seconds. So I was like, he wasn't even relegated to one of those split ones. So
yeah.
I was like, okay, Academy, at least there's that. You did one thing well. So no, so like I think when it comes to that, I think they did the best they could have done. And if it wasn't for Barbara, I don't know if she was instructed to do this or if this was spur of the moment. Well, no, the music was queued up, so I'm guessing it wasn't a spur of a moment.
Like, and here's the thing: I don't know who else I would have picked to do that for Robert Redford. To be perfectly honest, because I feel like a lot of his contemporaries are
That
dead. So like that's a
like
tricky thing.
I feel like
And
genuinely Jane Fonda should have been there with Barbara. Like give them both space, talk about them, and maybe
that's
like
fair.
let's not sing and let's just talk. Okay.
Well, and I'm glad that a few people got some extended time, even if they didn't get somebody to talk about them.
Yeah.
Like Robert Duvall,
Yes.
obviously, because like that man was a
Giant.
legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was 96 years old. He made a long time. And here's and that this every year just puts a spotlight on God. There's going to be some people who are going to pass away in the next couple years, and some of them I'm going to get legitimately emotional about. I was like, one, the Rob Reiner thing hit me because of the context too, hit me way harder than most celebrity deaths
Yep.
are going to hit me.
Yep.
Um, unless he does live so insanely long, like Mel Brooks is going to be up there within the next couple years, probably. And if not, good for that man. He's already 99 years old. And like him and like Dick Van Dyke and God, Clint Eastwood's 95 years old at this point too. So like there's going to be some people that I'm going to be legitimately upset.
And imagine what kind of montage they will have to do, not only for these people you mentioned, but I don't want to say this, but there will be a point where Steven Spielberg will be there,
Well, that's the
where
thing. Spielberg, Coppola, Marty, they're all
Scorsese,
even years old. So
Ridley
like,
Scott. Imagine that insane montage of when those like giants go.
I
Like
swear,
they
if they don't do a musical number for Mel Brooks, I could be very upset.
springtime for Hitler, baby. Right at the life in the Oscar. Like yeah.
I if I would, if I was producing the Oscars, I would totally do that because you know he would have loved it.
Yes, exactly. Like he's a funny man. He would want his, like a memoriam, not be like, teary-eyed. He would want that, remind you why he was great. Like that
Yeah,
would be,
have a laugh.
yeah, exactly. It's so,
Oh man.
and if you think
But
about it, if you think about one last point,
yeah,
the 2025, we've also lost two other giants that were mentioned in a previous one because there was the beginning of the year, but let's not forget David Lynch and Gene
yeah,
Hackman both
yeah,
died in the 2025, but it was
yeah.
before the previous
Or
Oscar.
last year's Oscars.
Yes,
So yeah, 2025 was a rough year.
very rough.
And
And
then the beginning of 2026 is already rough.
yep, yep, yep,
So that and yeah, it's it's unf- we're getting to that point in time where there's like a whole entire generation or two because of actors and directors are going to be passing away, and some of like the most foundational presence in the history of movies,
yep.
and that's
Like
going to be some sad days.
I don't want to imagine, and I don't want to exist in a world where there is a movies not being made by Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese.
And you know, Luke, at least we could say we still are now.
Exactly. So
Look,
like,
look at them.
yes, look at us.
You know, we got the still from Scorsese's new movie, and I'm like, oh, that's why Leo has that mustache. And case in point, my last point about the broadcast, then I think I'm kind of exhausted the broadcast part, and we could talk about
Yeah.
the actual categories we're going to.
Mm.
When you inorganically try to generate a meme and your meme becomes an actual fantastic meme.
Yep. Conan knew what he was doing.
Yep. Because like that is the most forced, inorganic way to try to make the internet make a meme. And then Leo stepped up, the king of memes, because his reaction was perfect. And Luke, the amount of memes that I've
Yep.
looked at with
Yep.
that since then
Yep.
is a lot. I'm just gonna leave it at a lot.
Yep. It's like, it's like the corporate, how do you do, fellow kids? Like let me sell you this, but it kind of worked.
It worked really well because that meme's hilarious. So
Yep.
damn Leo.
Damn,
Look
Leo.
at you.
But no, I think
Wasn't
yeah.
enough that he had an Oscar and he dates supermodels, and then he just has to be
And
in the
apparently
memes.
he's actually more serious about the current supermodel he's dating, so good for him. I know, right? Good for
Is
him.
she gonna make it past 26 years old?
No,
Is
she
she
already
past
has. She already has. Yeah, she's the first one. She cracked the spell. I think she's soon to, if she's not already, turned 27. I think she's soon turning 27. So hey, we're
She might
talking
actually
big
make it to
numbers.
30?
Hey, I don't know if we're talking the big trio yet, but hey, we're talking big numbers. We already cracked some history. Okay.
Oh, yep. And on that note,
On that note, let's talk a bit more about the top six categories because we will talk about both screenplays
yep.
and just let's we will see what we thought about the winners and all that a bit in between. So let's start with the best writing and adapted screenplay. So the nominees were Train Dreams, Hamnet, Frankenstein, Begonia, and our winner, the first Oscar out of 14 nominations prior for Paul Thomas Anderson, one battle after another.
I am happy he won.
Yes.
I thought he was going to win. It is a really good screenplay.
Hmm. I can hear butt incoming.
Honestly, though, after rewatching, which is so funny because the three movies I rewatched for my party were
Hmm.
Frankenstein, Train Dreams, and One Battle After Another.
Hmm.
Honestly, would have been happy if Train Dreams won.
Same.
I didn't really think about that. And honestly, the more I hear people talk about Begonia,
Hmm.
like I wouldn't have been upset with that either. But I don't feel strongly enough to be like, I'm upset that one battle after another one because he deserved it. So
Yes.
like it's deserved. I don't know at this point if I would have picked that, but I think it's a well-deserved Oscar, and it was a great moment, which realizing now how much of an awkward white boy Paul Thomas Anderson is, his speech, like yes, he was ringing those Oscar statues because you could tell he was a little nervous up there. But it was a wonderful moment, him going up there. I wish that Maya Rudolph could have went up there with him
Mm,
and co-accepted and just imagining what she done because she was so happy.
yep.
That made me so happy.
See, okay, to your point about Paul Thomas Anderson, I didn't take it as he was nervous. I thought this is a man, he's imagined this moment for about almost 30 years. And
Yeah,
he thought
honestly.
he made some bangers and he thought he will never fucking get it. And he so to me, I like that read more like
You know
it's
what? That's
finally
fair.
here. Like I'm actually holding this fucker. Like he made a joke like you make a guy work very hard for one of these. Like that's how he started. And I'm like, so like he was, I think
That
he
was
was a bit
great.
nervous, but I think he was mostly like, I'm finally holding one of these fuckers. It only took me like 30 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the thing too, because he's one of the premier writer directors out
yes,
there.
yes.
So like him winning a writing Oscar at this point after 30 years,
Hmm.
like, and there's some times where and his biggest opportunity probably was '07.
Yes, yes.
And me being a Coen Brothers fan, I'm not mad at all.
Hmm.
Like he was really unlucky that year. And to be honest, at this point, we'll talk about this probably more, but Sinners was There Will Be Blood this year.
I was gonna say
But it
like
got a little bit more
2025,
love. So
2025, I genuinely think 2025 is the new 2007. After we will have some space, 10, 20
yeah.
years, we will look at this and I'm like, can you imagine these two juggernauts came out the same fucking year?
Yep.
Yep. But
Yep.
no, like, so my thoughts, like, exactly yours, like, exactly as yours. Train Dreams, I would have loved because I love that movie. I will say I'm not as big on Begonia just because I think this is a movie, this is a remake of a movie from 2003. And that's weirdly enough, I don't want to skew this podcast a bit more, but that's my biggest problem with the movie. I don't understand this particular nomination because I thought it was fine, but I thought the general idea, not to spoil anything about this movie, right? I can see why that worked and would have been revolutionary in 2003 when Save the Green Planet came out. Living in the year of our Lord 2026, we live on now. That ending and what the movie is going for feels bit lazy, even though it's not the fault of the movie, because we live in such a fucking crazy society. It's like also you kind of adding a
Living in a
fuel,
society.
and you kind of adding a fuel to a fire, even though like I understand it's not it's not the point of the movie, but like many people will take it like that. So I have a very not gripe, but like it's a perfect example of time shifts how we view art, and something that was revolutionary and like kind of subversive 20 something years ago now feels like Well, of course, this is the ending for this movie. Of course it is. And it feels more expected in a way. So, like, I understand Emma Stone being there. I would have understood Jesse Plemons being there, but he wasn't nominated.
Well,
But,
I think that became more and more of a glaring omission
yep,
as the Oscars got closer and closer,
yep.
to be honest. All I'm gonna say is I think the two best adapted screenplays of the year weren't even nominated. So just throwing that out there.
What were, tell me.
Um, because of the stupid rules of the Oscars, Wake Up Dead Man is an adapted screenplay. Despite the
Uh-huh.
fact that it's an original screenplay, it just has characters from because it's a
Hmm.
sequel, it has to be adapted, and no other
No
choice.
other choice. Yes.
So,
Yes. Let's not
but
rehash that conversation because we'll
nope.
spend another half an hour on this.
Yes, at the end of the day, well deserved win.
Yes.
I was happy for Paul Thomas Anderson. He finally won an Oscar,
Yep.
and it wouldn't be his last. So we'll get there.
We can only. Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like for writing we can only hope, but no, yeah, yeah. You mean overall, yes, yeah. So
Literally, we're gonna talk
now,
about that again.
correct. So now we talk about a different guy. His first time, best writing original screenplay. Nominees were Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, It Was Just an Accident, Blue Moon, and the winner, Sinners, and Ryan Coogler.
That made me so happy.
Same.
Uh, there's a couple of nerds
Yes.
winning some Oscars, so you can tell they're both nerds.
Yes.
And like this was a no-brainer for me.
Hmm.
Out of that group, no-brainer.
Correct.
Even the two other original screenplays that I wanted to see represented, like Sorry Baby and Weapons,
Hmm.
Sinners was the and I realized so many of these things even upon the first watch. But after watching this movie three times, the amount of detail in this screenplay
Yep.
is insane.
Yep.
The layers upon layers upon layers of themes in a vampire movie. Like, this is a vampire action horror movie.
Genre movie, yeah.
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 Like, and this isn't even like Nosferatu vampire movie where it's like deeply disturbing and sexual and so like, well,
Oh, it is sexual.
this is a hot kind of
This
sexual.
is
Nosferatu is like, this makes me feel weird. Sexual. But that's a weird kind of horny.
yes.
No, Sinners, it's just there's so many great characters. The dialogue is fantastic. The story and how it all unfolds and the mythology in itself, it just all of it. I'm like, this was a no-brainer for me, and it made me so happy. And Ryan Coogler going up there, I want to sit down with this man and just talk movies with him
Yep.
because you
Yep.
can tell how much this man loves movies. I would love to sit down with him and PTA and just shoot the shit about movies, to be honest.
100%. 100%. Like, I'll echo everything you said. I had a chance to rewatch Sinners in the cinemas with somebody who hasn't seen them before. So this is my second time watching Sinners in the cinemas. For that person, it was the first time. They also loved it. And I will say that movie already feels like a classic, and it's been only a year. Like every scene felt right. Every decision they made felt right. I cannot describe it in any other way. There was not a single decision that would throw me back. There was the flow of the movie just feels right. The all the acting performances from Michael B to Delroy to Hailey Steinfeld to like the what's the name of the young man who sings the blues,
Oh, Miles Caton.
Miles Keaton. From all of these performers and even the side characters, it just everything felt right. Like when I was rewatching this movie, I was like, oh, I wonder if I still love it as much. I had a bit of a fear. I was like, oh, maybe it's, maybe I'm just, hyping it up too much. And like not just the pivotal I Lie to You scene, but every scene before and every scene after felt right. And I genuinely think this will become one of those like, hey, 2020s, great year for movies, and this should be, if not your top five movie, top 10, 100%, because like I can imagine many other movies competing for that spot. So very happy with that win. And Ryan Coogler, you need to just watch the video when he's talking about different fucking lenses to understand how big of a fucking, nerd this guy is, but in the best way possible. And exactly like you, I want to
It's
sit
the
down with
kind of
him.
person I want to make movies.
Exactly. And I wanna sit down with him and just fucking chat movies. Like same way like Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino. Like he's got immense amount of knowledge, he's got immense amount of respect, and most importantly, love for this medium, and he's unapologetic about it. I loved. We are not going to talk about cinematography, but I loved when we got our first female winner, first woman to ever won.
Ever.
Yes, ever.
Like, ever.
I loved how he unprompted got back and brought her son closer so her son could watch it. And I was like, this is such a fucking cool. I really hope he doesn't do anything stupid. I really hope he doesn't have any skeletons, like questionable skeletons in his closet, because nobody touch Ryan Coogler. He is a fucking cool dude.
The only thing in his closet's movies.
I really hope so. Like genuinely, like I would hope I don't want him to be like a next Kevin Spacey or somebody like that. Like, oh my God, I cannot enjoy him now. Like, no. No, but like, yeah, he's fucking phenomenal. Well deserved win. Well deserved. And I was rooting for him in many other categories.
As well, for sure.
So, Best Actress in Supporting Role, nominees were Tiana Taylor for One Battle, Vinmi Mosaku for Sinners, Inga Ip's daughter Lilius for Sentimental Value, Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, and the winner, Amy Madigan for Weapons. What do you think?
I would have been okay with four out of them winning. No offense to Elle Fanning, but
Oh,
I don't think I would have picked her.
mm,
But Lilias in I think she I think Elle Fanning being there drew attention away from just how significant of a performance Inga Ibsdotir Lilias had in Sentimental Value.
mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it was down to three.
Yes.
And I I have not she wasn't the one that I wanted to win, but Amy Madigan winning deserved because Aunt Gladys is that's a character.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a character actor performance and it was done perfectly. And that character could have easily been a joke and been done very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
But we love to see great performances in a horror movie. I love especially seeing great performances by antagonistic forces in horror movies because a lot of the times they wind up being like ambient voices
Yep.
or like or like CGI things. But I really hate the Terrifier movies. That's one of my biggest things that I really don't like that's popular in pop culture at the moment. But like Art the Clown, that performance is
Icon.
like that's something special.
I enjoy those movies, but I understand.
Yeah, but like Amy Madigan really deserved. I was really pulling for Umi
Yes.
Saku to win, and then Amy Madigan's speech was so earnest and because like I I got teleported back to watching Field of Dreams and just remembering her as the wife in that and just being like and she's so like high energy and just like this bubbly little woman.
Yep.
Um and God and her Ed.
Ed. Yep.
Her that moment with her and Ed Harris, I'm just like, oh my God. That was such a beautiful moment. And it was such a sincere acceptance speech too.
Hmm.
And Tiana Taylor might not have won, but she might have won Best Hype Person
Yes.
at the Oscars. So,
Now, Tiana Taylor was having the time of her life,
yep.
except when he asked certain people, apparently she was rude, and I'm like, the fuck? I or like,
I saw like she got like pushed or something
yes,
by
yes,
security. Like, it's way too many things happening in that little sphere academy on Sunday. And I'm like, what the hell?
yeah.
So, but
No, but
those are my thoughts.
yeah, no, Amy Madigan, I was happy for her. I would have also picked Wunmi Mosaku, like personally. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think they made a correct choice because I think you walk out of Sinners thinking about all the great aspects of the movie, and obviously like being one of them. But you walk out of Weapons, and this character that doesn't show up until maybe 50 minutes of the movie. Like she doesn't show up until
Well, except for like quick
yeah, yeah, like
moments. But
jump
yes,
scares.
you
Yeah.
don't understand her as a actual character until like
Yes.
halfway through the movie.
And you walk out remembering her. You walk out
Yeah.
remembering this fucking psycho Aunt Gladys. And that is a performance, that's an impact, like supporting actor should be doing. So, as much as my heart was saying Wunmi, I understand, and I think it's really fucking cool, by the way, that her first Oscar nomination was 1985. I was like, holy shit, 40 years between nominations. That's, yeah.
Do you remember what she was nominated for?
I cannot remember. It was a movie I haven't seen. It was one of those like dramas that are like very popular in the 80s. From what I understood. And see, I don't even have, whilst you looking it up, I don't even have the
Yep.
connection to her because I still haven't seen Field of Dreams, if you believe it or not. It's on
I'm
my
not
list.
well, as somebody who grew up with like baseball in my
Yep,
veins,
yep, yep. I
like
know.
you watch baseball movies. So like
And
I
that's
watch
why
baseball movies.
And that's why I don't, because I mostly don't like them. Besides, like League of Their Own was the first baseball movie I
What one?
actually loved.
Oh, Twice in a Lifetime. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
See, yeah.
And she lost to Angelica Houston for Prizzi's Honor, that Jack
Mm,
Nicholson movie. So
okay.
Oprah Winfrey was up for The Color Purple and Margaret Avery for The Color Purple that year.
Obviously, it
So
hurt Oprah's career very much that she lost, right? You know, where is she
you
now?
get a car. The
What is
car.
she doing now besides being one of the wealthiest people on earth, right?
I think she's fine.
Yeah, I think she's
So,
done, you know, yeah.
I think she's
Uh,
fine.
yes. So, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, nominees were, so that's a stacked bag. Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. Delroy Lindo, Sinners. He is also here. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein. Benicio del Toro for One Battle, and Sean Penn winning for One Battle after another. What do you think?
Oh, let's get started with, is that category fraud? Yes, it is. Because in what world is Jacob Elordi a supporting character in a movie where half the movie's from his perspective?
I feel like
And that's the thing.
technicality, he is in a correct category because like technically it's Dr. Frankenstein's story. The Frankenstein monster is
Until
just
it's
as
not.
I know, but
So
it's
just I'm
yeah,
just pointing out that there's a long history of
yes,
category fraud,
yes,
and there is no way in hell he would have been nominated for Best Actor. So am I happy for him getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor here? Yes. And he gave a great performance. And that man is massive.
like
Rewatching Frankenstein, I'm just like, well, also because Oscar Isaac's a bit of a short king.
yes,
Um, it's like the height discrepancy, but no, he gave a great performance in Frankenstein. This was a stacked category, and there is not much to go wrong here, to be perfectly honest. Depending on who you wanted to give it to,
hmm
whatever spoke to you. I really was pulling for Delroy Lindo because I think Delta Slim, that performance is so fantastic, and he's comic relief. He brings weight. He has some of the most meaningful and soulful moments in the film
yep,
that like unexpectedly come up on you.
hmm
But the elite character work of Sean Penn in One Battle After Another, and I mean character work, because whether it's the Vince McMahon walk he does, the body stature, the voice, are you in the blood girls? I'm like, like rewatching that movie, that scene in that grocery store was unhinged. I'm
hmm
just like, and the way the lick, the constantly combing his weird ass F boy hairdo that he has in this movie, just every little bit of it. So like, no, I'm not mad. Sean Penn won. He did great work. Honestly though, I think Benicio del Toro stole that movie, with just a few small beers.
Sensei.
Um, Sensei Sergio. He would have had my vote, either of the two of them. But and Stellan Skarsgård is incredible, and it makes me like he just seems like one of those actors that how like film just takes for granted.
hmm
That's just like my Arrakis, my Dune, and you could pop him up in something like that, or you could pop him up in so many other films. Like I just watched Breaking the Waves for the
Mm.
first time. That Lars von Trier film. He's amazing in that too. I just he's never really gotten a whole lot of like acknowledgement in this kind of way.
Yep.
And it just even makes me happy that he got nominated.
Hmm.
I would have been happy if he won too, but I just wish obviously Sean Penn had big things he was doing. It's always just a weird thing when the person's not there to accept their award.
Yep.
At least this didn't go on at the end of the show.
Correct. So my 2 cents on this. See, if you're talking category fraud, you can make an argument. I'm gonna make it.
For
Stellan
Stellan
Skarsgård
Skarsgård too. Yeah,
being leading really, because like yes, like this
yeah.
movie is as much of his point of view and his story as his daughter's. So,
I no, I 100% agree. Two fits in this category. I'm like,
and as much as I like Jacob Elordi, and I don't think he did a bad job in Frankenstein, I cannot help but think he's the obvious stand. All the other categories, I don't see any problems or obvious standout, but he it kind of sticks out a bit to me. And I'm not denying he did a great in
I
Frankenstein.
would not have nominated him.
Like because
I'm
like
just putting that out there.
uh, same. Like I'm like again, we can have two thoughts about one subject. Did he do great in Frankenstein as Frankenstein's monster? 100%. Did he do so well he needed to have the nomination? I didn't see it before he was nominated. I don't see it now. Maybe when I rewatch
Could
the
have even
movie,
picked like Ray Fiennes for 28 years later or something like that. Would
that would have been a
so like
very cool pick. But that's yeah.
yeah.
But like
If you
Sean
wanted
Penn,
if you wanted to pick a supporting role for a male actor from a horror movie,
yep,
but there's one I can give you
yep.
that.
But Sean Penn, like the moment I've only watched one battle after another once in a cinema. But Sean Penn, like that performance stays with you. Same way as Amy Madigan's and Gladys. Like just the dialogue, do you love black girls? I love him. Cannot get enough of him. Well, just and the way he talks like this sometimes, like a dog, like and like you think with the name Logjaw,
Lockjaw.
like that's the ultimate villain, so he's gonna go nuts with it, and he does. But he does it still like in a very not as like he is obviously
There's like
showy.
something oddly human about him,
Yes,
despite the fact that he's so weird.
and as an actor, like like he could have taken it a whole nother dimension, and he's obviously but he did it. Like I feel like the performance is so great because he knows when to step on the gas and when to let it go. The more I remember his performance, because he doesn't. Many actors fall into this trap. They are great, but they have one speed throughout the entire movie. He kind of felt like this scene, like oh yeah, this is where I'm gonna shift into a third gear and go balls out, and this is where I'm gonna slow down and just let something like let do something with my hair, or just something this and like something subtle. And like I knew, like not knew, but I thought he's gonna win. He won. He didn't. Well, he wasn't there, so like he had better things to do. But
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Like would Stellan or Delroy be a fucking great the choice? And would I
Mhm.
be sad had they won? No. Would I be this category if not the previous one? This category if we had the tie, beautiful.
Nope. Live action short film.
Yeah. Anyway, best actress in a leading role we have Emma Stone for Begonia, Renata Rensway for Sentimental Value, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and the undisputed winner of all the awards,
Yep.
Jessie
All the
motherfucking
awards.
Buckley. Like she is the most nominated and most awarded person of last year. There was like somebody posted because somebody was like, "Oh, Timothy Chalamet was like," and then somebody corrected him. No, if you're counting women, Jessie Buckley won much more.
If you count women.
So, and yeah, no, Jessie Buckley won pretty much every single fucking thing she was nominated for, besides maybe like Golden Globes. Nobody gives a fuck about. Anyway, what are your thoughts?
Love Jesse Buckley.
Yes.
I actually just rewatched Beast last night,
Oh.
which was the first film I had ever seen her in. And it was the dawn of the Jesse Buckley scream. There's few things as visceral as listening to Jesse Buckley scream,
Hmm.
and it sounds so odd. But you hear it a lot in this.
You sure do.
Honestly, so before I get into Jesse Buckley,
Okay.
the other nominees, honestly, any other year, Rose Byrne would have won this easy. Honestly. And I thought she was incredible in that film. And that shocked everybody because I don't think most people realize Rose Byrne had this gear because she mostly does comedy. And but she was incredible in that.
Hmm.
I will not take any Kate Hudson slander. She was great in Song Song Blue. Like, would I have picked her as a nominee? Probably not, but I
Hmm.
think she's deserving.
Hmm.
Emma Stone literally can just get nominated for every performance at this point because this woman does not know not how to deliver a dynamic, full-fledged, I'm going all in on the bit performance. And this one was weird, as many of her performances are in
I'm saying it. She is
Yorgos
this
Lanthimos
generation's
films.
Meryl Streep. Like Emma
Oh,
Stone, she is.
yep,
It's between her and Saoirse Ronan, but Saoirse Ronan does like one movie every 2 years now. So like,
which makes me sad.
yeah, me too.
'Cause, oh, and Renata Renciv just she's an incredible actor.
She
And
is.
between this and the worst person in the world, she's good. She's gonna keep doing films with Joachim Trier and keep making some and delivering amazing performances. Um I and this is a tricky thing. I would have loved to see Ava Victor get
Mm,
recognized. And because limitations on how these categories work, she identifies as they,
yep,
but like they would have just been put into this category if they were nominated. Um, and oh, Amanda Seyfried was incredible in The Testament of Anne Lee, to be honest.
yep.
And that's a movie that nobody saw, so got no love. But Jesse Buckley, birthing scene, grieving scene, theater scene. You could just watch any one of those and realize why she won this Oscar.
Yes.
Like her performance is incredible, it's powerful, it is mesmerizing. She she has presence. Just the way that she stares or looks or carries herself and the emotion. This is like Hamnet was the perfect vehicle for an actress to dig in and just let it all out.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Chloe Zhao and their casting director picked the right woman because Jesse Buckley went for it and delivered. I walked out of Hamden. I'm like, she's winning it. If she,
Yeah.
he does not win an Oscar, I'm going to be very upset. And she did, so I'm not very upset. So there we go.
So I still haven't seen two out of these five. So if I like
Okay,
Psychic Q, I unfortunately, that movie was playing here for about a week. So
hot second.
yeah, and when I was finishing, when I only had one screening per day, the screening was 11:20 a.m. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go. Oh, never mind. I cannot go after work because I'm literally fucking working when there's a one screening available. So
Bothers me so much when
yeah,
theaters have like here's one screening during the workday. I'm like, well, it's me then.
yeah.
So
And I haven't seen Kate Hudson's Song Sang Blue, so I hear decent things, so I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, this category, Jesse Buckley, as much like I'm not as high on Hamnet as many people are, but I cannot deny Jesse Buckley. Like she is a tour of force in that movie. She like there was it was a one woman race the entire time, pretty much, it would seem
yeah,
like. and and yeah, I cannot like I was so
it's
happy
the
for
only
her.
one that was like one of these four acting categories. This is the only one they're like, well, Jesse Buckley's winning, but I don't know what the hell else is happening.
Like pretty much, yeah. And then, like so she's also the first Irish woman that apparently win like won an actor or Irish actor in general. And I'm like, that's weird.
Well,
Really?
actress definitely because Killian Murphy just won.
Well, yeah, duh.
Uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
so but no, like,
Yep.
and I saw somebody on the internet being like, he knew she was gonna win. She's won every other award. That crying when she won was insincere. I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna find you. I'm like full blown taken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find you. Like that, like her speech, and yes, I love just listening to her talk in her Irish accent.
Yep.
Um, But no, like all the well, there wasn't a acceptance speech for the last one we but like this acceptance speech was beautiful and so emotional and like it reminded me a little bit of like Olivia Colman winning,
Yes.
except Olivia Colman was
Olivia
so
Colman was
big.
like, "Oh, they tell me to speed it up." No, no. And she kind of flipped the camera. That's how you do your speech. That's so great. No, I think Jessie Buckley, if she chooses the right movies, I think she's here to stay. I think she is here to compete, and she is like I would not be surprised if she in the next 10 years becomes, hey, that is like, this is an actual next Meryl Streep right here. Like she has the
Well,
chops.
well, I mentioned Beast, but it was Wild Rose, where she's an aspiring country singer
Hmm.
that like hooked me. I'm like, this woman is amazing. I love her as an actor, and I can't wait to see her do more things. And Hamnet was the right movie for the right actor,
Yes.
and it clicked.
I I'm basic, so I think not first, but like I paid attention. I started to pay attention in a Lost Daughter,
Yep.
and I think many people shitting on that movie because they see themselves in that movie. Maybe,
Nobody
maybe,
wants to admit that maybe they don't want to be a parent.
or maybe, or some people shouldn't be parents in the first place. It's a very uncomfortable movie when you analyze it. But she and Olivia Colman
Yeah.
brilliant in that movie. And ever since
Yes.
that movie, which is 5 years ago now, which is fucking insane. This was 5 years ago. Ever since then, I'm like, damn, this Jessie Buckley woman. Okay, I need to remember her name. And
Yeah.
yep.
Well, and she was great in Fargo season 4 as
Oh
well.
yes,
She was unhinged, and I love that kind of Jessie Buckley too. Like
yes.
I didn't love The Bride, but man, I could just watch her going off doing this wild dual performance that she did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like Jessie Buckley came to play.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Yep. So we now move to the best actor, and oh boy,
oh
nominees
boy,
were Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Leonardo, DiCaprio, for One Battle, uh, Timothée, I Hate Ballet Chalamet for Marte Supreme, and the winner, which I have predicted, and this was one of my lucky guesses or my gut,
yeah,
and I was so fucking happy when they said Michael B. Jordan for Sinners.
I think I put him
I
on my
think I
ballot
think you
by the
did.
time I it finally did my ballot because the tide had turned point. Which first off, and I really want to out of all the movies that are nominated for
Hmm.
Oscars, the movie that I feel like I need to rewatch again is The Secret Agent.
Yes.
I don't know if it was because it was a more subtle performance, but like the whole Wagner Mora thing just didn't click with me. Like I thought it was a really good performance, but it was a lot. It didn't scream I should be nominated for Best Actor. And honestly, I would have taken Jesse Plemons in that spot for Begonia, or there's probably some other people. Oh, Young Hung Lee from No Other Choice. But for those, I thought I'm glad he got some recognition.
Hmm.
Leo, rewatching No Battle After Another.
Hmm.
Just this is the thing. It is almost a purely comedic performance
Yep.
for him.
Yep. Yep.
The movie is not,
Hmm.
but for him, that's almost a purely comedic performance. And people need to get past the fact that like you need to actually be good at acting to be funny in a movie
Hmm.
and sustain that. I think it's well deserved. He obviously didn't give a crap about winning because he did not campaign at all.
Yes.
But he was just along for the ride. And I've been upset if he won, honestly, because it was such a fun performance. But it's certainly not what I was rooting for. Crap, who am I missing?
Ethan
I'll
Hawke.
get to yes, that made me really happy because Ethan Hawke is an incredible actor, and despite the fact that my wife and my brother both hate him,
Why?
it's one of those things where like I don't think they 100% know why. There's
Oh.
just something about him that they just this is
Mm,
warming up to him though. And
mm.
I think he's an incredible actor and Blue Moon he carried that on his on his shoulders. And that was a movie I really, really liked a lot. And
Mhm.
I thought he was great in it. The more I think about Marty Supreme, the less I like it. And the more that I just realized that like it was, except for like the ending is a bit of a rehash of Uncut Gems, just in like different dress. And I think Timothy Chalamet plays that perfectly. He
Mhm.
fully commits to it. But the more and more space from watching the movie, I'm like, I don't think he should have won.
Which and he
And
didn't.
he did it. So like I I feel like everyone's like, this is like an absolutely incredible performance. Like, to be honest, I don't know how much of a stretch him being a little shit is.
Okay, let's stop here and let's talk about this a bit more before we get to Michael B. So,
Yeah,
like, to your point, we, by the way, we did not discuss this before the show, but I'm on
yeah.
the same boat as you. I watched The Secret Agent. I actually am higher on the movie than most people are. I liked it. I don't understand the Wagner Moura nomination either, but I'm glad for the dude. Like, I'm happy for him.
I am happy for
Yeah, yeah.
he's put in his dues over the
Yes,
course of his career
yes.
and him getting recognized in this way. I'm not mad about it.
And I'm
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 happy
of the
for him.
mindset that more international people crack these categories outside
Yes.
of, hey, we have one category out of 24. You know, you don't get
Yes.
to be nominated. Better for not just Oscars, for the cinema. Better for
Yep.
everybody. But yeah, Ethan Hawke, so Blue Moon is the only movie out of this group I haven't seen yet, but
Okay.
everybody who has tells me this is the movie Ethan Hawke should have won an Oscar for. Don't know. I never seen it. I only seen the clip of what he obviously played in the Oscars, and it seemed like, damn, that makeup job was fucking phenomenal. I don't understand how that wasn't nominated on Ethan Hawke.
I think that honestly, I think the makeup category this year was actually really competitive,
Yep, yep.
to be perfectly honest. But I can see your point there for sure.
Yeah, but Leo, I think that speaks to a larger point. Also, like being nominated, and if it's not for pure drama, like they don't take you as seriously because yeah, his performance is very comedic, most of his screen time. But like the phone call, just the phone call part alone of one battle when he has forgotten the password because he has been stoned for past 20 years and he genuinely
Yes.
cannot remember it. And he's doing all of this while this chaos is happening around him. Like, there was a time where Timothy and him were front runners, and Michael B. Jordan was the
Yeah.
third one. And then, like as he said, he didn't do any, campaigning. So like,
Leo and Emma Stone just were like, we're gonna have fun this year.
yes, yeah.
We're just gonna go along for the ride.
And yeah, Timothy, look, listen. I think it's a great performance. I wouldn't have been surprised had he won. Because like he is carrying the movie. It's a dynamic performance. I
Yes.
think despite him being little shit, despite him doing things he does, and he is starting to kind of rub me the wrong way too, because of the way what he says. I think he gets a bit too much shit now. Like I think we need to all scale it down a bit. Like and again,
Here's the thing.
yep. Hmm.
Who gives a shit
Hmm.
what he says about opera when it comes to if he wins Best Actor for his performance or not?
Yeah,
And if that did indeed affect anybody's vote,
which it didn't.
you shouldn't be voting.
No, it
Sorry.
didn't.
No,
It
no, it didn't. And it just became a narrative because
yes, it's
they
funny.
wanted it to be.
It's funny.
Here's the thing. Is he even 30?
He will be 30 soon, I think. He's like
Okay.
20.
So we're talking about a 20 something year old kid talking like saying he doesn't like opera.
Hmm. Oh, he turned
How
30
many
just last December. Sorry. So he did turn 30 just last December. So like he's gonna be 31
so
this December. So
let's
freshly
put it in
30.
perspective. He's younger than both of us.
Yes. Yes.
And you're getting upset because he said stuff about opera and ballet. Many, how many 30-year-olds do you know that are like actively absolutely loving opera and ballet and go to the opera and ballet?
And
The
that I
vast
think.
majority of people are not. I think there's a generational issue here. And I think people need to remember one, this man is 30.
Mhm.
Two, stop this crap about Timmy's gonna be the next Leo. He's gonna have to wait so long. Like he's 30 years old. everybody needs to cool the hell off, cool their
Yes.
jets.
Yep.
Like, I honestly, I don't have anything against Timothy Chalamet. I
Hmm.
have an issue with the narratives that keep coming up around Timothy Chalamet, positive or negative. Honestly, I'm just kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, shut up, watch the movies, and vote based off of his performance. And the more I hear, like, see more stories coming about, like, one came out this week. Timothy Chalamet concerned that Kylie Jenner relationship is harming his image with older voters. I'm like, who gives a
Well, he knows. Look, he is. See, like I don't. I hear what he's saying about the argument. He's a young. He's not young. He's 30. So like, I will actually challenge you here because like the thing
compared to
is.
most people in the academy?
No, I know. I
He's
know.
30 years
I
old.
know. I know. No, but to my larger point, he knows how this game is played.
He does.
So, for example,
He sure does.
for example, he issued a public apology for working on a Woody Allen movie back in the day. He refuses to talk about it. But there was an interview with Woody Allen's sister that he privately reached out to him and apologized. And Woody understands that's how the game is played, and Timothy understands how this Hollywood game is played. So he's not really sorry. This is the thing. He's not a young boy. He's a grown ass man. So let's like he's 30. Like look, yeah, he's a grown ass man. But this is where I will defend him, and I need you guys to hear me saying what I'm saying. He's not wrong about the ballet and opera. As much as like it pains me to say it, as much as it is a shitty thing to say, he's not wrong. How like how often do you any of you go to ballet and opera? Does that mean we say, and I don't think he even said we should cancel everything and we should not fucking do these things. No, but it is a dying art form for better or worse. But you know what? Go to sign up for ballet and opera in spite of him and revive it. That's and I think ultimately that's another thing. Like there can be two different opinions about the same thing. Was he a bit cheeky about it when he said, and he's in a position of power where he shouldn't say shit like that about other art forms? 100%. But is he wrong? No, he's not. It is a dying art form, whether we like it or not. And the only reason it's dying art form because we do not support it the way we support movies, the way we support television, the way we support music, the way we support other art forms. They are more instantaneous, they are more gratifying, they are more uh, they are not as costly because again, tickets for ballot and opera are fucking expensive. That's the other part.
Yeah.
So like make it like so it's not just oh you need to be top 1% to fucking go see an opera.
Well,
And maybe it's not gonna be yeah,
they're elitist
yes.
forms of art to begin with because there's economic barriers. So
So
like,
if you don't want it to die out, maybe make it less elitist, and don't stop being mad at Timothée Chalamet for, like, you can be mad at him for many other reasons, but like like he was saying the truth, even though he like there is an unwritten rule in Hollywood. I think he's learned this here because this comment, I will make a prediction, will haunt him for at least 10 to 20 years. I think there will be still a cheeky journalist 20 years from now. They will ask him, "Do you still believe that by what you said back in 2025?" This will haunt him for
well,
some
and
time.
if that comment affects his chance of winning an Oscar, then shame on the people voting for the Oscars.
And also, I know it didn't because apparently he said it or it was released the
Yeah,
same
after voting
day.
was done.
Yeah, the same day was closing. So like basically there would have been like hour and a half left. From what I understood, it was like hour and a, so it barely swayed. I don't think it barely swayed anything. If anything, now should talk about a winner because I have a theory. The unfortunate BAFTA incident, I think it might have swayed the thing for Michael B. Jordan. I genuinely believe
Sympathy wise.
yes, and not because he wouldn't deserve it. Again, let me say it loud and clear because this is the internet. I was rooting for him. I put him on my ballot because I thought he should win. Michael B. Jordan.
100%.
And so
He did
therefore,
two amazing performances, two times as
exact
many as anybody else nominated.
the math is there. Yes, Shane is right. And therefore, I was rooting for him the entire time. What I'm saying is the BAFTA incident happened just before, or when the nominations were still pouring in, when the votes were still pouring in. Can I see maybe 50 people swaying their vote because of it. And I also, on top of, oh yeah, and it was a great performance, I can. And this is why I would love to see, maybe not the following day, maybe not the following week, but maybe like the following month, give us the results. Academy, give us how close it actually is. Because like this year, if it was double digits between him and Timothy, I would not be surprised. Like genuinely, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like double digit difference between him,
I'd
Michael B. Jordan winning.
love to know the
Same,
voting results. Because
same.
the only voting result that we do know is two short films got the same amount of votes.
I was gonna say I don't know where
We
you're
got a
going
tie.
with that. Yes, the tie. Yeah, but yeah.
One quick
Mhm.
thing before we talk up Michael B. Jordan. I would like to live in a world where famous people don't have to apologize for having opinions about things. Like, why does John Bernthal have to apologize for making comments about naps?
Or Jesse Buckley hating cats.
Like, what the shit?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, am I gonna get canceled and have to send out an apology because I say, like, I hate condiments?
How
I
dare
don't use
you?
condiments.
How dare
Like,
you?
I don't use ketchup. I don't use mayonnaise. I don't use mustard. I don't use condiments. And in some weird, stupid way, I would say that in an interview, and people would be like, well, the people who love condiments are very upset. Like,
The ketchup
I'm not
people are after
apologizing.
you.
The condiment king wants to come at me.
Yes.
It's so stupid. He shouldn't have to apologize for having thought about that.
Hmm.
And if you hold that against him, then you shouldn't be voting
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this is supposed to be about performances, not if you have the same interests as somebody. But anyway,
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan delivered an incredible dual performance in this film.
Hmm.
And I am taking crazy pills because I hear people being like, well, they had the same voice, they looked the same, and like they acted the same. I'm like,
Because they're twins.
they did one, they did have different voices. They had different how they spoke was literally different.
Yep.
And I'm like, I but some of the discourse around Michael B. Jordan's performances has been infuriating me because I'm like, did you even pay attention to the movie?
Nope.
If you literally think that they're the same exact performance because they're not. They're from every little detail, from their facial expressions to how they carried themselves, how they spoke, their attitudes, how they reacted emotionally to different situations, and all of it, the physicality of it all.
Hmm.
It's incredible. I walked out of Sinners. I'm like, I want this man to win an Oscar.
Yes.
And that was a year ago at
March.
this point.
Yep.
And it made me so happy that he did. And that speech up there, it's like, yeah, it was a little long. And it was so satisfying seeing Adrian Brody behind him. It's like, this is how you give a long speech that's actually meaningful.
Yep.
And like, just, it was a beautiful moment. Such a
Hmm.
beautiful moment. And it was so sincere and earnest. And you could feel him trying to like hold it together as he was giving his speech. I'm just like, this man deserved it
100%. Like
and
again,
earned it.
earned it, deserved it. Michael B. Jordan, like even minus the Timothy Chalamet stuff, even minus anything, like I was rooting for him ever since I saw Sinners. And when I rewatched Sinners, I'm like, damn. Like yeah, Timothy Chalamet will probably win for Marty Supreme. I cannot be mad, but Jesus Christ, Sinners, this performance is a great one, and I don't understand people who don't see it. I don't, but okay, it's fine. Like art is subjective, but no. So like I was so happy when he won. I was like because I was genuinely so ready for me to go another one wrong on my gut, and then Timothée Chalamet gets it because he was still the front runner even though it was like tight. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this is Timothy. And then when she announced Michael, or he announced Michael B, I was like, oh, yes. I was so fucking happy. I was like, I was the happiest. Like that was still up at like 2 a.m. So yeah. We will move to the best directing. All right. So nominees were Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, and the winner, PTA, for One Battle After Another.
I thought all of them were very deserving.
Mhm.
If I could make a switch, it would probably be Park Chan Wook for
Yes.
Trier, probably. This is a hard one for me because, like, I think all of them are deserving
Hmm.
of this nomination, and I just no other choices. Still, I'm still bitter.
Yes,
Um, I
same.
really wanted Ryan Coogler to win this, but I'm not mad that Paul Thomas Anderson won, and especially because, like, he's one of out of all the filmmakers that have come out of the independent film movement of the 90s, like
Hmm.
late 80s into the 90s, Soderbergh and Tarantino and Kevin Smith and Dave Fincher. Like Paul Thomas Anderson is an incredible filmmaker and he directed the hell out of no one battle after another.
Yep.
It was an impeccably put together film
Hmm.
and it worked really, really well. And it was a great moment to see him recognized for that for sure.
Hmm.
So
I don't think I have anything else to add. Like we all seen it coming. Like, I was also rooting for
yes,
Ryan Coogler because I thought, yeah, I just thought it would be so great to see Ryan winning on a directing scale, like, that front. But I'm not mad. PTA is PTA. He finally got his well-deserved Oscar, and yeah, like that's it. That is just like I don't have anything else to add. Like this was like one of those like we know who's winning. We know like we can wish one other person wins,
we
but
can hope.
we all know who's winning. That was one of the categories like we
It
all know.
wasn't quite a Jesse Buckley lock,
No,
but like it was pretty darn close.
pretty much, yeah. And now we go to the Best Picture. So,
Yeah.
oh, a lot of nominees: Train Dreams, Sinners, Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, Frankenstein, F1, Begonia, and One Battle After Another was the winner of the night.
What's crazy is I when I looked back, see the Secret Agent was my lowest rated out of all of these, and it was still like a high 4 stars.
For me, it's
It's like,
Begonia, but also like it's also 4 stars, so like it's a neck and neck.
oh yeah, I think I gave Begonia. I had to double check that one. Both of those were like there,
But
and then
solid.
yeah, and I gave F1 a 4.5 because honestly, that was
Same,
like
same,
anybody who got upset F1 got nominated. I'm sorry. Also like honestly, Joseph Kosinski for directing. He directed the hell out of that movie, and he's a really talented filmmaker. It's just he has a lane, and we
hmm
love to see him. Like we love seeing his films in that lane, you know. But like F1 was such a great time at the movies,
hmm
and honestly, after rewatching Train Dreams, that got real close to being real at the top for me. Like that's such a beautiful film. Hamlet's up there. The rest of them, like these were all for the most part 4.5 movies and above for me.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it should have been the generational film that is Sinners. That's gonna define like I Luke, it's so funny because I come home from press screenings and usually Jess is in bed waiting for me to get home because most of them she goes to bed at like 7 o'clock. So I'm
Yep.
getting home and I'll tell her a little bit about the movie that I saw and go do my business, like recording and stuff like that. I said, I watched something truly special tonight.
hmm
Those are my exact words when I came home from my Sinners press screening.
hmm hmm
Because I knew I walked out of that movie, especially the little coda at the end.
Oh yeah.
At li- After that, I'm just like, this was special.
hmm hmm
And where I saw so many people say One Battle After Another is the movie of the decade. I'm like, no, Sinners is. Um, but no,
Same.
One Battle After Another is an incredible film too. I'm not mad that it won. It was very high on my list too. There's some other ones I would have loved to see. Like, I'm so perplexed about the shutouts of both No Other Choice and Wake Up Dead Man.
hmm
Neither of those make any sense to me, but whatever.
hmm
But good for One Battle After Another, good for PTA. And, it was a much more overtly timely film, especially with, like, it's like Sinners has a lot of things in it that are resonant today. It's just, One Battle After Another put immigration at the forefront of its story. And that's something that speaks to a lot of people right now
hmm
with ICE and these containment camps and the movie takes place even like years ago.
Yep.
and it still feels uncomfortably relevant today. So I'm not surprised that it won, and I'm not mad that it won. I just really I would have loved to see the cast of Sinners up there on the stage, but it is what it is.
Pretty much the same thought as you have. Like Sinners, I was rooting for Sinners. That was my pick, even though I knew like it's like it's about 10% chance it's winning, but I did choose it anyway. It didn't happen. One battle won. I'm not mad because I think to an extent this will define 2020s, like the movies we see today and how they are shot. I think this will age very well, unfortunately. But yeah, I think Sinners is will be one of those timeless movies. Like no matter when you watch it, I think it will always like transport you to that one specific day and night of that crew who for one day and one night were free. And I just that ultimately is what resonates with me. And the story of family, brotherhood, like freedom, pursuing your passions, and all that, and the Irish. So like like I again like F1, I had a blast with F1. Should be a
Yeah,
Best Picture nominee? Probably
I
not.
wouldn't have picked it as my one of mine,
Yeah,
but I'm
I'm
like
not
I'm not
mad.
mad about it.
Exactly, I'm not. Yeah, we're not mad. So
We're mad about it. I'm
yeah.
just like you all need to relax.
Are there some things you would like to, or you liked or didn't like about this specific broadcast we didn't mention?
Honestly, I think we before we even got into the categories, we went
Yeah,
headlong
yep,
into all of
yep.
that stuff. So overall, it was a good time and a good Oscar party.
Hmm.
I There was a nice mix of winners.
Yep.
Frankenstein won its three Oscars that it should have, to
Hmm.
be honest. Um, Sinners won a handful, one battle, won a handful, and K-pop Demon Hunters won two. Which that wasn't even my top animated movie, but like I can't even be mad because that movie
Hmm.
is amazing.
It is.
So overall, I was very happy with how this all turned out. And looking to a 99th Academy Awards that if things turn out like people are anticipating, it is going to be a battle of behemoths.
But again,
And
we
it's
we we shall not speculate.
no, it is too early because
Yes.
it is March 21st as we're recording this. We got like 11 months before the next Oscar ceremony. So,
Yes. Yes.
but all I have to say is, you know, the book on 2025 has closed for now
Hmm.
until I inevitably go onto the Sip Pop writers room and have to recalibrate the Oscars next year.
Yes.
Um, but there's so many movies I'm looking forward to in 2026 and have really loved, honestly, so far this year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yay,
So far,
movies.
no, so far the movies we've gotten were pretty good. You know, the fact that we are like, only quarter of the way, but you have at least three great movies that have come out. At least, and I haven't seen them all. You've seen them, obviously, you've seen them all. But like, I haven't seen like I only like I know like Send Help, The Bone Temple. I still haven't seen Project Hail Mary, but I hear amazing things about that, so I'm gonna go see
Yep,
that soon. But
love that.
yep.
But yeah,
But no, I was gonna say I would just want to reiterate: do not cut off people when they're making speeches, please. If we need to sacrifice the quote unquote comedy, okay. If I want to watch a comedy, I'll tune it. I'll put on Netflix and choose one of the 10,001 stand-up specials they have on their platform because even Shane has one. Like, oh, everybody has one, and it's on Netflix. Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm
So
not even that funny.
well, you can host the Oscars, or you can present the Oscars next time. You'll fit right in, Shane.
I can do a lot of impressions, though.
That is true. That is very true. No, but yeah, I think that's basically a wrap on the Oscar talk. Before we say our quick recommend, we do have a bit of announcement, and you were hinting at scaling down, Shane. So,
Yep.
do we have an announcement?
So I will not be on every episode of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
As long as like I'll certainly be on here with Luke every other episode, and if I can swing coming on when we have an added guest, I will. I'm trying to I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm tired. And I've been doing this movie stuff for 10 years now, and I think it became too big for having a full-time job and a part-time job on top of doing all these things. And I need to get healthier, I need to
Hmm.
lose weight, and I
Hmm.
want to start a family.
Hmm.
So there's things on my plate that I'm going to be figuring out, but I will still be here, but there will be episodes where it's Luke uh driving the boat with a guest on.
Yes. And as much as it pained me at first, I was like, I understand. I get it. I get it. So, yeah, that's the big announcement. Shane is not going away completely. He will only be here 50% of the time. But when he's here,
All
he's going to be
50% of the time, all the time.
all the time, 100% of the time. Those 50%, he'll be here 100% of the time. Because that's how it works. No, but it's no, like you, as I said to you privately, like anytime you feel like you're, back to speed, up to speed, or whatever you want to feel like, you can always like come back and be like, me, you, and a guest. More than happy to do that. So because I always, obviously, we've been recording for 2.5 hours, so like, oh, I enjoy chatting with you, believe it or not.
Yes. What?
I know, right? And I hope the feeling is similar. Like similar. Like, yeah, I don't want to hype myself too much.
You're great, Luke, and you're a great
Thank you.
friend, and I appreciate you being understanding, and I do love talking movies with you.
No problem. No, honestly, like same.
Now you all could get emotional too.
Yes. And now, so before we say goodbye, what's your quick recommend for this time, Shane?
I don't even know if I want to wish this upon people. Um, I got a press screening for the AI doc, or how I became an apocalyptimist.
Mm,
Now, I've seen some people like I went onto Letterboxd and saw people already gave this reviews and admitted to not seeing the film, but they're like, from the trailer, I can tell that this is AI propaganda. I'm like,
hmm.
these reviews should be taken down,
Yes.
and it's just stupid. I'm a robophobe.
Hmm.
My biggest fear is AI
Hmm.
and Skynet and the fall of humanity. And this documentary is about a documentarian interviewing uh AI doomsday preppers, AI alarmists, the people who run these AI companies, like Sam Altman was on there, and like they have a wide range of different perspectives on this. So
Hmm.
anybody saying this is like a one-sided thing or full of shit. Sorry.
Yep.
Um, but first third of this movie made me have an existential crisis. And I'm just like, some of the stuff, it is a fascinating look at what AI is, where it's going, what are the possibilities, and I didn't feel very hopeful with the ending of how we could resolve this because it entails the world coming together and uniting. I'm like,
Nope.
good luck. Good
Yep.
luck on that one. But I think it is an important documentary. And also it's honestly funny. Because like it has personality and stuff, and I think that makes it easier and more engaging. The editing in it, every time it cuts to the director interviewing these people after they say something like shattering, and he's just like he's all of us.
Yeah.
So it is an experience, I think. Honestly, I wanted to reach out to Focus Features, and I still might to try to set up a screening on Writers Campus
Nice.
because I think it's that kind of thing that people should watch this movie,
Hmm. Hmm.
especially for those who don't understand AI and don't know what it is.
Hmm.
And it's math. So now I'm a little afraid that people hate math even more.
You mean how many people don't understand this is not really an AI but LLM, language learning modules? And that's what it is. But people like the term AI. Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the term when they start talking about super intelligence, where a machine has more intelligence than all of humanity combined. I'm like,
Because actual AI would have behaved differently, and we will. I think that, like it's only genuinely a matter of time before we get there. But what we see now, these are language learning models. That's why they are always wrong. That's why they can hallucinate stuff sometimes. But no, like that documentary sounds interesting. Okay.
90
Well,
minutes of your life.
hmm, hmm, sounds all right. I might actually check it out. And I don't really watch more documentaries because there's so many feature movies and there's so many TV shows I haven't seen. Speaking of
Yep.
movies, this one is like I love this movie, but it's a bit harder to recommend. Not because it's weird, but it's because it is a bit. You either get into the vibe or not. It's a best international nominee from few years ago, from a few years ago, called Perfect Days. It's from Japan, and it's if I say this is the best toilet commercial of all time, you might think I'm being snarky or cheeky, but it's literally what this movie is. And
Yeah,
it's only because of the director, the like the famous Winter. Wait,
Vim vendors. Yep.
Wenders, yes. He makes this into this philosophical drama about, not even drama, it's a philosophical thing about life and how you can live your life and how you can choose to step away. And if stepping away from life is the good thing to do, or how it might look. And there's a moment at the like halfway through the movie and there's a moment at the end that will I think that if those don't work for you, this movie will not work for you. If the ending does not do something to you, it will not work for you. But it's
You
a
mean one of the greatest needle drops in the history of cinema, Luke?
yep.
Because it is.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's such a great movie. It's such a it's slow movie. It's very vibe oriented. So like if you need to look into that vibe, there is little to no dialogue. And if there's a dialogue, it's a Japanese movie, so it's in Japan and Japanese, so you need to read subtitles. But please, people, read subtitles. And it's a beautiful movie. It, it needs to be like I know it sounds pretentious as fuck, but this really needs to be experienced, and you cannot watch it. You need to experience it, and if you get into that zone, I think you will have an absolute blast. Even though the film is not necessarily a happy movie to watch, but in a way, it kind of is, depending on your life view and how you perceive life and what life is or means to you. So I would recommend that. Perfect Days.
It is an incredible experience.
Hmm.
And it is such a beautiful film. And it's so weird. It's like this is a Japanese film from Vim Vendors.
Yep.
Um, from Germany. No, just a German in Japan.
Yes.
So there you go. But no, it it is one of those types of films that it's hard to recommend to the quote unquote normies out there that are just like watching mainstream
Yep.
cinema
Yep.
basically. But God, it's such a beautiful film. And is that A24 Neon?
I think it's Neon, but I don't quote me on
Well,
this.
I don't recall if it got released yet, but then I'll be getting it on Criterion.
Mm.
So there you go. Eventually.
Yep. But no, yes, those are two of our recommendations. So thank you for listening to us. As always, this podcast is part of SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And yeah, this is the end. So from me and
Yes, from Shane.
from Shane, we say goodbye and talk to you next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.